Hello everyone. So I think I'm audible, right? All of you? Okay, fine guys. So good afternoon and yeah, for someone good morning. So let's start with the class. So in today's class, I will be talking about a Python code execution. So I'll try to start from a basic. And yesterday I was talking about installation. So I'm assuming that all of you have done an installation of Anaconda, or those who are not able to do installation for Anaconda installation. So what you can do is, so you can try to practice all of these things in a Google Colab. But in this session, I want you to practice along with me. So whatever code I'm going to execute, right? So you are supposed to execute a same code in your system then and there. As I'm starting with the basic and one by one, so I'll keep on typing all of those code. So I'm not going to like give you a code walkthrough. I'll try to type it and then I'll try to explain you a code that how this code is working. So in the same way, so you can try to execute in your system. And I think we all will be able to practice in this particular fashion. Yeah. So fine, let me start sharing my screen. And first of all, I would like to go into your dashboard. So let me sign in. Yeah. And I'm assuming that all of you are able to get an access of your dashboard, right? So if you will go to your course part and let's suppose this is a full stack. So whatever I have discussed, right? So whatever I have discussed in till last class, so each and every recordings are available. So yesterday we were talking about this Python installation. So recordings are available. Yesterday I was talking about I have created one notes as well. And like I said that going forward, I'll keep on forwarding you a notes if I'm creating this kind of a notes in your live classes. Yeah. So notes are also available. You can try to go over here and then you can try to like check this one at any point of a time so that you won't have to create a note. So it was a basic one for sure because we were just talking about a Python, other languages, comparison and all those things. So it's not a big deal, but still, so I have already shared this note with all of you. So just feel free to go through this note along with your class recording, and you don't have to prepare any kind of a note at any point of a time. And again, so in all the videos, this information will be mentioned. So in case of any concern and queries, so you can try to follow along with this one, and you can try to ask any kind of a question that you are looking for. Now, what I will do is I will try to launch my Anaconda prompt. So just go to your search bar if you're using Mac system. So again, you can try to go ahead with the search. And if you're using a Linux machine, you can go ahead with the search and then you can try to search for Anaconda. Now, let's suppose if I'm trying to search for Anaconda, right? So I will be able to get Anaconda prompt for sure. So I'm supposed to open up this Anaconda prompt, a black screen for sure, right? So once you will try to open up this black screen, you will be able to like you can try over here that okay fine, so Jupyter notebook, let's suppose if I'm trying to open up, right? So just type over here JupyternoteBook, simple, right? Jupyter notebook. And I think we have done this activity in our studies class, right? So I'm assuming that you all are able to open up a Jupyter notebook. Just hit enter, and in your default browser, it will be able to open up a Jupyter notebook for you. Now, let's suppose somehow if I'm getting some kind of a issue, so in that case, you can try to copy this particular URL and then directly hit this URL in your default browser. So if you're going to hit this URL in a default browser, you will be able to get a same kind of a things which I'm able to receive, a Jupyter notebook, right? If there is some IPNE file, you have to open up first of all Jupyter notebook, and then in that you will be able to open up your IPYNB file at any point of a time. Otherwise, if you'll just click directly, you will not be able to open up this file. Okay, so I'm assuming that we all are good till this point, as we have already discussed about these things in our previous classes. Now what I will do is, so this is my Jupyter notebook console or prompt, you can say, right? A page. Here I can try to click on new and I'll try to create a new Python notebook. Now here, so let me create a new Python notebook. Even yesterday it was giving me some sort of a issue. Generally never happens. So let me just refresh it. I think there are many prompts which I have opened, because of that it's a issue. So I can try to open it up again. And like I said, guys, those who are facing an issue, right? So just feel free to go through Google Colab. If you are not able to do installation, it's completely fine. You can try to go ahead with the Google Colab, I don't have any kind of a issue. I just want you to practice along with me. So whatever code execution which I will try to do over here. So yes, you are supposed to do a similar kind of a code execution. And yeah, typing is important. So type. Yes. Okay. So the way I'm going to execute, the way I'm going to type each and everything. So in the similar way, so you can try to type it. Okay. Link is not showing in my dashboard. I don't think that link is not showing in your dashboard. So this dashboard is generic and common for every one of us. So I think you will be able to see a link. Okay, just click on all the tabs. Maybe you're missing something over there. Okay, fine guys. So this is a Jupyter notebook which is available with me, and I'll try to type a very simple statement over here, print, and print is nothing but it's a function. So it's a function which is available inside a Python. So there are some default function which is available inside each and every programming languages, and you will be able to create your own function as well, right? So as we have already done an installation of Python, so for sure, couple of things or many more classes, variables, creation, all those things will be available inside a Python itself. So as and when as it is required, so I can try to utilize it. Now I can try to print something. This is my first Python program, right? And execute it. So if I'm going to do this print operation, and if I'm going to type that this is my first Python program, so yes, whatever I have mentioned inside a print statement, I'm able to receive it. Now print can be used in a multiple ways. So we will be talking about all of those ways. And now let's suppose if I don't have any idea that what is print, right? What it can do, what kind of an input or maybe a variable it will be able to take, and what kind of an output it will be able to give, right? It's completely fine. We are not supposed to memorize even a single syntax, or we are not supposed to memorize even a single function, right? What I can do is I can just try to press shift and tab, and yes, I will be able to get a default documentation. So Python library is created in such a way that you all will be able to see, or you all will be able to get a default documentation. You all will be able to get everything into a default documentation itself. So in this way, your life will be easier, and you're not even supposed to do a Google search in many cases. Yeah. Let's suppose if I'm going to make some sort of a mistake, right? I have made a mistake over here. So whenever I'm trying to write something inside a print statement, right, something inside a print function, which will try to give me a return into my notebook console itself, right? So at that point of a time, if I have made a mistake, so it is trying to tell me that, okay, fine. So this is a syntactical error, right? This is a mistake that you have done. So here is a mistake. Somewhere here, it is trying to point out that, okay, somewhere over here, you have made a mistake. Now, if you will be able to see that, so for sure, I will be able to rectify it, right? I will be able to rectify it easily. So whenever, for sure, as a beginner, whenever you will start typing something in any programming languages, you will receive an error sometimes. So just because of some silly mistake, right? So you will receive an error, and that is very true, right? You're not supposed to worry about it. Read out the error syntax or read out this error properly, and you will be able to fix this issue in majority of the cases. I'm not saying in all the cases, but yes, in a majority of cases, you all will be able to do it, right? Easily. So here I have made a syntactical mistake in terms of writing a syntax of this print statement. So I have made a mistake, right? So EOL, end of line, while scanning string literals, so it is not able to scan this complete string literals, right? And that is the reason, so it is not able to execute it, because whenever I'm trying to put a string inside a print statement, so I'm supposed to enclose this string or the messages which I would like to print, right, within a double quotes, or maybe within a single quote. I can try to keep it, right? Double quote or single quote inside that. Again, let's suppose I don't know what kind of a data I can try to insert. So here you will be able to find out that first argument it is trying to consider over here as a values, and values can be available in a form of a string, and it will be able to print, and many more things. Many more things we'll get to know. Like you can see, there are many variables which is available over here, and as and when time will come into a picture, so I'll try to talk about all of those variables as well. But this is our very first like a function which I'm going to use. Now So if you will try to work, or if you will try to find out some very old code repository, right? So over there, you will be able to find out this kind of a sentence. This is my first program, right? Now here, so this syntax or this statement is valid. This statement is valid, but not in Python 3.x. This statement is valid in Python 2.x. So when you will try to do a copy and paste of a code, maybe from some GitHub repository, and if that person has implemented the complete code in Python 2.x version, and if you are using Python 3.x version that you are using already, right? So you have installed a latest one, and every one of us are using 3.x version. It's quite popular and stable one, right? So here this syntax is fine. This syntax is actually correct syntax, but in 2.x, not in 3.x that you are using as of now. So make sure that if you're not able to execute it, again look into the issue, right? Again look into the issue, and whatever suggestions you will be able to get from here, try to implement it. So as a see, writing a code going forward, you will feel that writing a code is not a big deal. So you will be able to claim yourself as a programmer, or maybe a person who can write a beautiful code, if you have a debugging skill, right? So debugging always comes into a picture 80% of the time, and coding is just 20%, right? So this is the ratio that we used to consider. So whenever we try to check some person, that whether a person is a very good programmer or not, so we always try to focus on a logic as well as a debugging skill, that whether person is able to debug something or not, whether person is able to understand that particular issue or not, and whether person is able to fix it or not. There are multiple way of doing a debugging, right? So one way is, okay, fine, so I'll just look into this error, and maybe based on my experience, so I'll try to solve it, right? There are other way of debugging as well, which we will try to understand in our Python project section with the help of PyCharm, VS Code, all sort of things. Okay, fine. Now moving ahead, right? So in this way, you will be able to do a print statement. You will be able to write a print statement. Now let's suppose if I'm trying to write something, let's suppose I'm writing my name is SUDH, right? SUDH and execute. So for sure, it is going to give you an issue, right? Because what you have done, so you are trying to write some sentences. It simply means that some kind of a string you are trying to write over here. And let's suppose I don't want my program, I don't want my Python compiler to execute this particular program. What I want is, so I would like to treat this one as a simple statement, right? Or maybe some sort of a hint, or maybe a kind of a comment. So in Python or in any other programming languages, there are a provision to create something or to convert some line as a non-executable line, or consider some lines as a comment. So there is something called as a hash. So let's suppose if I'm going to append hash, and then now if I'll try to execute it, right, this time I'm not receiving any kind of a error. The reason over here is, if I have appended, right, if I'm trying to use hash over here, in this case, it will try to consider this complete line as a comment, and it will not try to execute. So it will not try to do a logical execution of this particular line. So in this way, I will be safe, because see, whenever I write a code, right, so generally we try to give a proper comment as well, so that other person, when other person will try to go through it, other person will try to read out your program written by you, right? So it will help them. So in any GitHub repository, a good one, right, you will be able to find out that programmer always try to mention a comments, that okay, fine, so this is a code which I have written, and this is a purpose of this code, this is our input it will try to take, and this is the output that you will be able to get. So we always try to mention a comment in a beautiful way, so that it can help others, right? And this is not mandatory, it's a best coding practice, I'll say, right? It's a best coding practice. So as a coder, for sure, if you will try to execute something, and if I have not given a proper comment, so for sure you will not be able to understand, right? So you have to mention a comments whenever we try to write like 1,000 line, 10,000 line of a code in a modular programming. As of now, it's fine. We are just trying to practice line by line, one line at a time, right? It's not required. But once you will create a project starting from your Python section itself, right? at that point of a time, you will find out that whatever code that we are going to share with you, we are trying to follow a standard coding convention, and we are trying to rewrite or write down each and everything in that particular way. So this is my first program, right? And then execute. So it's fine. It will not try to execute it over here. Now let's suppose if I have again written something in this way, right? So it's a multiple line, but all those lines, let's suppose it's representing a comment or some kind of a suggestion for you. Now if I'll execute, again there is an issue, right? So let's suppose if I would like to give a multi-line comment. So in a multiple line, this is a single line comment. This is fine. It will not give me issue for this line. It is giving me issue for which line? This line. Again, just try to look into the issue and then try to debug, right? It's not like you will get an issue and then you will start searching for it. Not at all. It's not required, right? Every programming language, every compiler has been designed in such a way that it will try to give you a proper hint that where is a issue. And like I said, 80% is a debugging. You have to debug, right? You have to fix those kind of a issue for sure. As of now, by default directly, you will be able to find out an issue. You can fix it. Now here, so it's completely fine. It is trying to treat, or it is trying to consider this first line as a comment. That is not an issue at all. Now, I have an issue over here, right? Because it is not able to understand whether it's trying to understand these things as a string, right? But again, I have not enclosed my string within a double quotes or single quotes. There is an issue, right? Now what I can do? So maybe if I have to create a multi-line comments, so I can try to do one thing. So I can try to like mention over here by using, I can try to enclose these things into triple quotes. So what I can do is I can try to create a triple quotes, and then I can try to mention my data inside this triple quote at the beginning, triple quote at the end, and then execute. Now my issue is gone, right? Issue is gone. So now I'm not getting any kind of error. So if you are trying to maintain a multiple line of comments, so because let's suppose if I have written 100 line of a code, and if I have to maintain a comments in a multiple lines, that is fine. I will be able to do it, right? I will be able to do it easily. So how I will be able to do it? So if you have to write a single line comment, then has. If you have to write a multiple line comments, in that case you have to use a triple quote, right, in a Python. Again, so as you will change a programming languages, this convention will change. But yes, these things are available in each and every programming language, not only in Python, right, but in a different way, right? In a different form, you will be able to find out a similar kind of things over here. So this is how you can create a comments, or maybe a set of the code which is a non, which should be a non-executable one, right? So maybe I have written some code like as of now we have discussed about a print. So I can try to write a print over here, and then again I can try to like write a print over here, and then again I would like to write a print over here, right? It's fine. Now let's suppose I don't want to execute this line, and I don't want to execute this line. I just want to execute this line. So I'll comment out this line, right? And then execute. Maybe I don't want to execute either of these lines, right? And I would like to consider these things as a multi-line comments. Some like a multi-line comments I would like to consider. So it's completely fine, not an issue at all, right? So what I can do is I can try to treat it in this way. In this way, it will behave as a multi-line comment. It is not going to send these things to a compiler, right, for execution. And whether you have written a correct code or maybe an incorrect code, let's suppose if I'm going to write some incorrect code over here, even in that case it will not give you any kind of a issue, because it will try to treat these things as a comment. Whatever you want, you can just write it right inside this triple quote. So for a single line, hashtag; for a multiple line, triple quote that you are supposed to use. So this is the starting point for all of us, right? So hope you all are able to execute it, right? Like I said, do it with me. You're not supposed to wait. And again, so I will give you a proper amount of time to write down each and everything. So someone is saying that you are going very fast. So okay, in last 19 minutes, I just talk about two things: comments and multi-line comments. Is it fast? So yeah, so like So just try to do just 2 points I have discussed, right? How to write a multi-line comments and how to write a single line comments. Yeah, try to adopt these things. Yes. So fine. And again, so next thing that we can discuss over here is a variable creation. See, what happens is whenever you will try to execute something in your system, right? So whenever you will try to execute something into a system, right? Again, no need to copy or write a same word. It's fine. You can write anything over here, right? I have just written whatever I like. So in the similar way, you can write anything. Yes, it's completely fine. And I think for execution, shift enter, right? Shortcut is shift enter. You can click over here to run. That is fine. Or else shortcut is shift enter, shift enter, shift enter, right? And you will keep on executing. Whether you are using a collab or whether you are using like a Jupyter notebook into your system, both in the both the places it is going to work. Okay, fine. Now, so here, right? So whenever we try to process something, so let's suppose there is a situation, right? So whenever, let's suppose I have a video inside my system, right? So what I will do is I'll just go to that video, I'll try to click it, and it will try to play. It will start showing me all the videos frame over here. For example, so yesterday I have taken your class, right? So let's suppose if I'm going to open up one of the video, if I'm going to click anywhere, right? So you will be able to find out that okay, so it is system is able to play this video. Now how system is able to play this video and what happens in general? So how execution happens when it will try to load or when it will try to play a video, right? So we are using operating system first of all, right? Any operating system, and our videos are available where? Into hard disk, right? So our videos are available into a hard disk, and whenever we'll try to play a video, so what is the kind of procedure it is going to follow? So first of all, when I will click, it will go to my hard disk, right? It will try to load each and everything where? Into my main memory, or you can say a RAM, right? And then from here, so it will send my data to my computation, or you can say CPU or GPU, right? So this is what happens whenever we will try to process some data. Even video is a data, right? Whatever is available in my system, whatever file is available, whatever softwares are available in my system, those things are nothing but it's a file or something that we are trying to execute or something we are trying to utilize. Everything is available in terms of a file system, right? So it will try to load each and everything, right, from your hard disk to a main memory, and then it will try to do a processing into a CPU, or if you have a GPU, so it will try to do a computation. CPU or GPU or your computational unit will try to process a data if data set is available inside a RAM. If data set is not available inside a RAM, it will not be able to process it, right? It will not be able to process it. So whenever we click, right, it takes some time to load or to play, because in between it will keep on doing what? It will keep on loading a different chunks of your videos which is available inside your system. Again, if we'll try to do a fast forward, so sometime because of the system capacity, so it will try to buffer or it will try to take some time to load it, maybe some microsecond if your system is like a large enough. So in that case, it will do it in a fraction of second. So whole idea over here is it will try to execute anything if that particular things will be available where? In a main memory, where? In a RAM. So all processing happens on top of a data set which will be available inside your main memory, right? So I'm not going inside the detail of system architecture design, because that will be like a different lecture that we used to take in our like a CSE branch. So we used to discuss about the complete system architecture design, and it's a beautiful chapter. At least for me, it was very interesting. So it will try to load something into like a main memory, and then it will try to do the execution in a layman way. Try to understand, right? So here, if I'm trying to use a program, right? Now, what is the purpose of program? Why I'm writing program? Why I'm going to write a code? So can I say that I'm going to write a code, any kind of a code, right? So can I say that I'm going to write a code to perform some sort of a task, right? To perform some sort of a execution. I'm trying to write a code, right? To process some sort of a data, I'm going to write a code, right? So unless and until I don't have to process a data, right? Why will I write a code? So maybe you have written some code in a SQL. Why do you write some code in a SQL? So that that particular query will try to go to your databases. It will try to fetch a data. Then it will try to do some processing on top of the data. And then it will give you a final result, right? Let's suppose we have written a for loop. What we try to do inside the for loop? So can I say that we try to execute some of the data? So at any point of a time, right? At any point of a time, when we will try to write a code, objective is only one. We are trying to process some sort of a data. If that is not a case, right? If that is not a case, so for sure there is no meaning of writing a code. We are processing some data, right? We are processing some sort of a records. Maybe it's a small one, right, or a big one, but still we are trying to process some data set over there, right? And from where a concept of variable comes into a picture. So in any programming languages, you will be able to find out a concept of variable. Now, what is variable? Variable is nothing but a local instance or maybe a global instances, right? Where you can try to store a data. Let's suppose if I have written a is equal to 10, right? What is the meaning of it? So a is equal to 10 simply means that I have created a variable called as a, right? I have created a variable called as a, and then inside that I'm trying to keep a data 10. This number I'm trying to keep, right? Let's suppose if I have a variable b, inside that if I have written sudh, it simply means that I have created a variable b, and then inside that I'm trying to keep a data sudh. Now what is this a or what is this b? It's a variable name defined by us. So how it works, by the way? So let me take this example. So here, let's suppose I have a RAM. Now inside a RAM, you will be having a different kind of a memory allocations and a separation for a different processes. Now, just try to understand in layman way, right? Without getting into a more technicality, so that will get less confusion, right? So what happens is whenever I'm trying to write a is equal to 10, like I said, a is a name. So here it will try to occupy one space, because if I'm trying to store some one integer, one data, let's suppose 10, right? 10, or maybe like you try to store some data. Let's suppose if I'm taking an example of your phone, mobile phone, right? We all try to store a mobile number, right, with some name, right? We always try to store these things. So what happens? Let's suppose if I'm trying to store my mobile number, so mn is a variable, let's suppose if I've created, and if I'm trying to store one my mobile number over here, that 918400908, right? It's not my actual mobile number, don't worry. So if I'm trying to store my mobile number inside my mobile, what will happen with this name? If I'm going to store, it will try to create a place called mn, mobile number, right? Place is nothing but it's a, it will try to like reserve some continuous memory or maybe a discontinuous memory, depends upon the programming language and the operating system which I'm going to use. So it will try to allocate some of the space over here for me, and then over here it will try to store on like a 918400908. So this is something that it will try to store, right? So this variable name is nothing but it's a location, it's a name of this particular location given by us. you will be able to find out actual location given by a system as well. So I'll talk about that. But here, just try to understand a meaning of a variable. A meaning of variable is very simple. If we have to store some data in our RAM or in our main memory, right? So at any point of a time, what I have to do is, so maybe I can try to create a space, or maybe I can try to allocate a space. I can try to give a name, and in that place, in that space, I can try to store my data again inside a RAM, so that I will be able to execute it. I will be able to process it, right? So there are a variety of different kind of variable I will be able to create. That is possible. I will be able to create any kind of a variable, any kind of a data, because when we are trying to store a data, so sometime we try to store a name, sometime integer, sometime floating point number, sometime a complex number, sometimes some different kind of a data, maybe audio, video, images, anything we can store, right? Everything we are storing inside our system. So variable is nothing but it's a name of, or variable name is nothing but it's a name of the place, right? It's a name of that particular place given by us. There will be a internal name as well. I'll talk about that. There is a concept called as ID concept, so I'll be talking about that in the future, right? But here it's just a space that we are trying to create, so that I will be able to recall, or so that I will be able to access this data as and when it is required. Okay, so like I said, there can be a multiple way, and there can be a multiple different kind of a variable which is possible. So now let's create a variable. So let's suppose if I'm writing a is equal to, right? So let's suppose if I'm writing a is equal to 10, same, execute. And now if I'm trying to access a, so I'm able to get 10. So how these things has happened, right? How these things has happened. So what it will do over here, so it will try to create a space, right, location called as a. It's the name of this location. Inside that, it will try to store my data is equal to 10. So if that data is 10 is stored over there, right? So for sure, if I'm going to call a, now I'm calling a over here, yes, I'm able to get an output, right? I'm able to get an output for A. It is telling me that, okay, fine. So in this location, you have stored this data, set is equal to 10. As of now, it's a very small example for all of us, as we know, because going forward, so it's not just some small data will store a huge file as well, right? Which we will be able to process. Although that file will be available in my hard disk, but we will try to create some variable. We'll try to load that file, and then we'll try to process those files. So roles and responsibility of variables are nothing but keeping a data inside our RAM or inside our main memory for a execution. Like I said, if your data set is available in hard disk, it will never process. First, it will load a data into a RAM, and then your computational unit, which is CPU, GPU, or TPU, will try to read those data, and it will try to process all the computational things. Okay, so this is a very small and simple example. As we know that a is equal to 10, this is the variable that we have created. Now let's suppose if you are going to shut down your system, right? And then again, if you will try to restart. So as we know that whenever we'll try to shut down our system, it will try to clean my main memory, right? It will try to clean up my main memory. Or maybe if you're trying to shut down this Jupyter notebook itself, right? So all this variable will be gone. You will have to recreate, right? So that's the reason. So it's also called as a temporary storage. So over here, there are multiple variety of the temporary storage which is available, but I think it's too early to talk about that. So here it's a temporary storage. Permanent storage wise, you will be, if you are able to save this variable into a hard disk, into some file system, right? Then it's fine. Tomorrow, if I'll try to open up my system, I will be able to get the same thing, right? But if I'm not storing it in my some file system, if it's just a variable, it will be gone once I will try to restart my system. This is one thing. So variable wise, in any other programming language, those who are coming from other programming language like Java, C, C++, so over there, we try to create a variable by defining first of all a data type, and then variable name, and then data. This is a convention we try to follow in any other programming languages. But here in Python, we don't do the same thing. In Python, you are not supposed to define a variable data type. Python is a programming language which will be able to interpret, which will be able to understand that what kind of a variable you have created in terms of a nature of the variable. It will be able to understand that, okay, fine. So whether if you have stored 10, so whether 10 is an integer, string, or a floating point number, it will be able to understand automatically. So in other programming language, data type is important to define. Here in Python, not at all. So it's called as like a self typing as well. So here, let's try to verify it. Yeah. So let's suppose if I'm going to if I have to check, I have not given int a is equal to 10. I've just written a is equal to 10. Now I would like to understand that, okay, what is our data type of a? I can write type. There is a function. There is an inbuilt function called as type, which is available. So I can write type a and then execute. So type is a inbuilt function. When you will install a Python, so by default, these functions will be available. Like I have shown you, print function. So in the similar way, so type is a function which we are going to use so frequently throughout our lectures. Yeah, to check our data type, because checking a data type is again very much important as a process of debugging, because you are going to get a huge amount of issue just because of this. Yeah, for sure, I can tell you, you will get an issue. So type a and int, right? So now I'm able to understand that, okay, fine. So it's a int variable that we have created. Now let's suppose I would like to create some other variable. So now b is equal to, let's suppose, sudh. Now, so whenever you are, so this is the integer type variable, means a will be a is able to store, or a is capable enough to store integer data. So it is able to store one integer at a time. So even one integer is a data, right? It's a data for me. Okay, so data doesn't mean like generally people gets confused, beginners or non-programmer people gets confused that data means a file. Like if I have something into an Excel sheet or CSV, that is only a data. But no, according to this one, so even this is my data, 10 is my data, right? Yeah, it's a very small one, agree with that, right? It's not available into the file system, agree with that, but it's a data. So whenever we try to understand some programming language, so for sure we always start with the variable creation, because going forward we can try to utilize the same variable. As of now, I'm using a variable for storing just a small data, 10. Tomorrow what I will do, I can try to utilize the same thing for file storage, right? I can try to load a file, I can try to store these things into a variable, and then I can try to process it, right? In the easiest possible way. Okay, now there is another variable I'm trying to create, b is equal to sudh. Now this variable name wise, right? Many of you must be having concern that why I have taken only a. It's fine. So I have now taken this random like a variable name. Yeah. And now I'm able to get this data, random variable name wise. So variable name, you can write as anything, but again, there is a programming convention that we used to follow. So I think we'll try to follow those things going forward, right? Programming convention wise. First of all, we'll learn how to program in a simplest possible way. So here, variable name can be anything. It depends upon me. I can try to create my name as a variable. That will also work, right? Okay. Now here I'm trying to create another variable called as b and sudh, right? Execute. If I'll try to access b, I will be able to access this data. Now many of you will raise a concern that, okay, here, so I was using a double quotes and here I'm able to get output in a single quote. So in Python, whenever you try to create a string, right, whether it's a double quote or single quote, it will try to give you a final things or final output in a single quote itself. It will try to show you all the outputs in a single quote. So here I'm trying to create a variable b is sudh inside a double quotes. I may use a single quote as well, and then it will give me the same result, right? So here I'm trying to create a string variable. So a string variable means some character, some number, some word combination of characters or words. So all those things falls under a string variable, or some lines which I'm trying to write, some random lines, right? So all these things are called as a string variable. Means whatever you are going to enclose within a single quote or maybe a double quotes, right? That will be treated as a string variable. As simple as that. Now I told you that you are not supposed to write that, okay, this is the string variable or this is the integer variable. Python understands all of those things by itself. How I will be able to check that what is the type of this variable, right? I can simply type function. I can simply pass type function and pass this b inside this execute. It's a string. So b is what? B is what kind of a variable? B is a string kind of a variable that we are able to create, right? B is a string kind of variable that we are able to create, right? Okay. So whenever I have to call my variable, this is nothing but here we are trying to create a variable. Here we are trying to call a variable. We can try to call a variable directly by its variable name, right? Or maybe what you can do is, so you can try to print those variable. Both are fine. In terms of like a print statement, so the way it is going to print, so there won't be a single quote. So this is just a convention that Python used to follow. So you can try to access a variable anywhere you want, right? Anywhere. So let's suppose I would like to print a and b both. So b comma a I can write and see. So this is a b. Till this point it was b and a is equal to 10. So a and like a b and a both I am able to print. Yes, maybe I would like to print something else along with this one. So yes, I'm able to print it. So I'm trying to pass my variable and like some other string I'm trying to pass. And yes, I'm able to print each and everything. Okay. So this is how like it's just some random walk I'm trying to do over here. Nothing else, right? I'm just trying to create a variable. I'm just trying to access it. So a and b, right? These are the two variables which I have created. Now there is also a possibility here. I have written a is equal to, let's suppose, 45, and then b is equal to, I have written sudh, right? So here I have used two line to create a variable, to create two variable, right? Let's suppose I would like to create this variable into a single line. What I can do over here, so I can try to write a comma b is equal to 45 comma sudh execute, right? So here it's the same thing actually. There is no difference in terms of there is the only differences you will be able to find out in terms of writing it, right? But there is no differences you will be able to find out in terms of like the way I'm trying to create a variable over here. It's the exact same thing, right? So here I'm trying to create two variable, right? A and b all together. In this way, I can try to create some other variable as well. So let's suppose a, b, and s, and then here, so I can try to write this is my name, this kind of a things, right? Now individually, if I'll access a, I will be able to get 45. If I'll try to access b, I will be able to get sudh. If I'll try to access s over here, I'll try to get, this is my name, because it will try to map. It will try to map a with the first one, b with this one, and s with this one, right? So in the single line itself, I'm able to create a multiple variable. So whenever you will see this kind of a statement, so don't get confused, because we can write it down in this way. Now, like I said, so Python will be able to understand a nature of variable automatically, right? So let's suppose now if I'm trying to check that, okay, fine. So what is a type of this variable b? Yes, it is a string. What is a type of this variable c? Yes, it is a, sorry, it was s. So it is a string. What is a type of this variable a, right? Type of this variable a. So it is nothing but it's a integer. So here, exact same thing, but in a single line, I'm able to do it, right? Now, if I would like to print all of those variable at a time, so maybe I can try to call a comma b comma s, and then here I'm able to print it. Now, whenever you try to call in this way, so actually it creates a tuples. So if you try to check a type of this data, so it will be a tuples. What is tuples? So I think in our Python data structure classes, so we'll try to discuss about it, right? Tuples like dictionaries, set, all those things. It is a part of that particular section. But yes, I can try to print it. This is what I was trying to show you. Or maybe I can try to enclose these things inside a print statement. And again, so I will be able to get it. all those things, right? I will be able to get these things as an output. So here I have not done anything else except creating a two variable, right? A and B. So guys, are you able to follow me? Are you able to do it? Yes. What is a difference between call by value and call by references? Yeah, so shall I teach you everything in a first day itself? Yeah, there are likewise, there are many like other thousands of concepts as well. Call by value, call by references, everything is included if I'm giving you a like a programming class, right? For sure you will be we will try to discuss. So just wait. Everything is not possible in a first day, right? Okay, so just I'll just try to take a baby step, guys, so that we all will be able to cope up. And like I said, so if you're practicing with me for 3 months, after 3 months, you won't say that you are from non-tech background. I can assure you on that part. But yeah, if you're not practicing, I will feel really sorry about you. And yeah, so just make sure that you are practicing. Yeah. Okay. So here, right? How hint is available while typing in a Jupyter notebook if you don't want to type. No, so that one, for that one, you can try to use a Jupyter lab, or you can try to use a VS code, or you can try to use a PyCharm, because there you will be able to find out multiple third party plugins. So you don't have to write, it will try to complete it automatically. Even over here, right? So in some of the cases, you will be able to get the hint, like I'm able to get the hint, right? So what you can do is you can type and then you can press tab. But in Jupyter, what I feel is like these features are not that good and quick, right? So auto typing features are not that good and quick inside a Jupyter. It takes time. Somewhere you will feel irritated and you will feel like, okay, fine, so let's type it. That's much better. So right, typing the complete things is much better in a Jupyter notebook, because it's not that quick, right? It's a browser based, right? So it will try to send the API call and then it will try to get something. So yeah, auto typing is not that good in Jupyter, but yeah, in PyCharm and VS Code, so these features are very good. It's just a feature of IDE, right? So nothing much. Okay, fine. So okay, now here, right? So here we are able to do it. This one like a ABC, whatever I would like to get. So I'm able to get it. Someone is saying that what if I would like to get a double quotes in output? Why do we need it? Because we are able to, the nature of variable is string, right? Even in double quote, it will be a string. So anyhow, it is able to represent these things into a string, right? So, but yeah, if you are looking for specifically into a double quote, so you can write a print statement in that way, that okay, fine, so I have to get a double quote anyhow, right? So what I will do in this case is I can write in this way. I'm able to get a double quote internally, right? So it is trying to treat this string as a double quote. Possible. Okay, now moving ahead, right? So this is a string variable and this is this variable which I'm able to create. Let's suppose if you are trying to create a variable, right? If you are trying to create a variable, let's suppose 1b, if I'm trying to create, and then some string inside that. This is the issue. So whenever you will try to declare, right, a name of the variable, so it is supposed to start with, let's suppose if I'm writing in this way, so capital B, right? And then if I'm trying to write in this way, that capital B, so capital B will work fine. Fine. Now, if I'll try to write a small b, we have seen that a small b is working fine for us, right? Now, if I would like to write 2b, right? Issue, right? Or maybe I can try to allocate some integer over here, right? Issue. So whenever you are trying to create a variable, so variable name, you are not supposed to start with the integer. Making sense? So you are supposed to start with the character. It may be uppercase, it may be a lowercase. Now many people will start asking question that whether I can use hashtag or not, or at the rate or not. I think you have a keyboard in front of you, right? Type it. Simple. This is how we practice. Let me type as well. Okay. So hashtag means simple. It will try to treat these things as a single line comment. So I think we all are aware about it. Yeah. At the rate, if we are going to mention, There is an issue, right? So yes, you're not supposed to like type it. If I'm going to start ahead with the underscore, underscore will be a valid one, right? So underscore will be a valid one. So underscore, at the rate, hashtag, these are the special case character. These are, but yeah, it's a valid one. And again, like a hashtag has been used for a like a single line comment. Underscore I can try to use, at the rate I can't use, right? Just a common coding practice. And again, guys, don't memorize even a single word, and don't even try to create a notes of a single line. No need to create. Coding never comes out of the create notes and writing a code on a paper. It is just a practice, pure practice, simple. This is how you can learn coding. So in my entire life, I have never created even a single line of a notes, and never even thought of like doing that. Okay, I don't recommend anyone to create even a single line of a note. Don't do it. Even if you're not able to understand, do it, type it. Just a typing, right? Just type. Typing practice. Okay, so now the next thing that I can try to talk about over here is like so we know that, okay, fine. So we can try to create a variable. We know the meaning of variable. Variable is nothing but holding some data, right? Try to treat in this way, a data which I have to process maybe into a later stage. So I'm trying to create an integer, I'm trying to create a string, and for sure I can try to use it in a later stage, right? Now, so here I can try to use maybe a b ampersand, like this ampersand, and then maybe I can try to store some data. This is again a wrong syntax. So these are just a edge cases. I'm trying to show you that you can create a variable. No one is stopping you, right? But if you are creating a variable by this combination, so in that case, it's an issue, right? You are not supposed to do it. And generally, when we try to create a variable, so it's always better to take some meaningful name. So let's suppose if I'm creating some variable, so maybe I can try to like use a variable called as name, right? And here I can try to give name and then user ID, right? So in that case, I can try to give in001 001, right? And then I can try to create password, right? So maybe I can try to write something over here, right? And then like maybe I can try to create a mail ID, and then like something like that. So always we try to create a variable. So see, I'm trying to store a data, right? So name, user ID, password, mail ID, these are the data which I'm trying to store over here, right? So I can try to give a meaningful name, not even A and B, right? So whenever you try to create a variable, so that a person who is trying to read out your code, right? Person must be able to understand. You are supposed to write a code always in terms of a beautiful story. Always think about that story, right? So that if someone is going through your code, right, they should not feel pain. They should enjoy that. Okay, fine, so it's a beautiful story, now I'm able to understand the story, right? This is how like this is how you can become a beautiful like a coder. You will be able to build any kind of a system, right? Otherwise you yourself will get confused after some time if you will not write a code in that way. So I always ask people to like write a code like a story. Just as it's writing code means just a story, writing a beautiful story. This is what I understand, nothing else. So, okay, now, so what we can do is, now let's talk about another data types, right? So another data type, so like we have created an integer data type, we have created a string data type. Now maybe I can try to create another variable called as a is equal to 1.6, right? So previously I created a is equal to 10, something like that, right? Here a is equal to 1.6. Now if I'll try to check a type of a, right? It's a floating point number. Like I said, Python will be able to understand a nature of data type by itself. You're not supposed to worry about it, right? So it's a floating point number that we are able to create over here. Integer, we have seen we can already create it by ourselves. Now, so here, right? So now here I can try to create any other variable. Floating point is nothing but we know that while doing a computation, so we can try to create like this, right? It's a floating point number that we have created. There is a true false kind of variable also you will be able to get. Yeah. So true false kind of a variable, true false kind of a variable, and that is called as a boolean variable, bool, right? So Boolean variable, true, false kind of a things you can try to create. So here, maybe I can try to create a variable B is equal to true and variable C is equal to, right, false, right? Now, if I'll try to check a type of B, Boolean, type of C. So it will be a Boolean, bool, right? So here I have written true. T should always be capital. If I'm writing T in a small letter, it will not be able to understand. It will give me a issue saying that true is not defined. So I'm not just able to understand it, right? So true, right? T capital if you are trying to write, so it will try to understand that it's a Boolean variable. Okay, it's a Boolean variable that you will be able to find out in this particular case. Now, so like I would like to give you one task, guys. True plus true plus true plus false plus true and false minus true plus true. Now, what will be the answer for this one? And I'm looking for answer for this one. Quick, every one of you. First one, answer for first, number one, and then number two. Okay, so not equal to, you're not supposed to mention equal to you have to remove. I'm just looking for an answer. So let's suppose if I'm going to print it, right? So let's suppose if I'm going to like print it, yeah. So what will be the answer? Just execute it by yourself, guys, in your system, and then ping me the answer. Many answer I can see 2014. Someone is saying true itself, right? So just execute it, same statement in your system, and then ping me the answer. Second one is 0. Someone is saying sorry 4 and 0. Okay, and 1440. Execute in your system. You are not. I'm not expecting any kind of a guess over here. You all have a system, and with me in my classes sit with a system because I'll keep on giving you this kind of a program going forward, a big one. As of now, a small one, right? In a class itself, you have to like give me answer. Okay, execute. It's a 40, right? 4 and 0. Anyone who can give me explanation about it? Yeah, anyone? So here, right? So let's suppose if I would like to like do true plus true, right? If I'm doing true plus true over here, it is giving me a 2 because by default true will be equal to like true will be equal to what? So by default true will be equal to I can say like a 1. Value of true is equal to 1, or like we'll try to figure out for the value of false, right? So value of true is equal to 1, and let's suppose if I'm writing minus a false right over here, so value of false will be equal to what? A 0, right? It's very simple actually. Logically, you don't even need a compiler to compile it. So value of true will always be equal to 1, and value of true is equal to 1. Value of false is equal to 0. So 1 plus 1 plus 0. I think we all know the answer, 2. That's the reason we are getting 2, right? So here 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 0 plus 1, right? 4. Here, so 0 minus 1 plus 1, right, is equal to 0. Simple. Yes. So by default, whenever you try to like print true or false, so true always means that it's a 0. It's a like sorry, true always represents 1 and false always represents a 0. right? So you can try to do a calculation based on true and false, any kind of a calculation. So I can try to do true, right? So I can try to do true into true as well. True, true. Yeah, so true into true, 1 into 1 is equal to 1, right? So maybe I can try to do true divided by false. What will the answer? True divided by false. This one. Someone is saying INF, someone is saying error, someone is saying NA. Division by 0 is not allowed. Okay, fine. So we all know that true is equal to what? 1, right? True is equal to uh, true is equal to 1 and false is equal to 0, right? False is equal to 0. I will be able to get. So 1 by 0. Yeah, fine. You can stop pinging me. It's fine. I can see your result. So here, right? So ideally, what it should give, like in terms of mathematics, what will be the like answer? Forget about programming, mathematics. Let's talk about mathematics. So can I say that in terms of mathematics, anything divided by 0 is it will tends to infinity. If I'll talk about the calculus, so it will tends to a infinity. It will not be a infinity. Like it will not the original. It will try to tend to the infinity. If I'll try to apply a limit theorem on that. Yeah. So here, right. So here, what you will get. So actually, you will be able to get error in this particular place. So fine. Let me show you that. Yeah. So here, if I'll try to execute true by false, so here 0 division error, division by 0. So this is the error it will be able to consider, right? Now, let me tell you one thing. There is a package in Python. There is a package which is available in Python called as NumPy. If you check your syllabus, so in a very detailed way, I have mentioned that particular library package because it is very much important, right? So in as far as your image computation, your machine learning, computer vision, all sort of things, NumPy is a very important package. So I have included over there. Now over there, if you will try to do 1 by 0, right? In Python itself, NumPy is also a Python package, right? Numerical Python package. But over there, if you will try to do 1 by 0, you will be able to get a symbol called as INF. But in Python, core Python, as of now, we are talking about core Python, right? Core Python modules and libraries. So in core Python, if you try to perform these things, it will try to give you what? Error, right? So this kind of a calculations is possible, right? In Python itself, but you will have to use a NumPy package for that. Will see that is also there in your classes. I have like I used to teach those things in my many of my classes. Yeah. So fine. This is the error that you will be able to receive. So true plus true or false. So I think yeah. Now we are able to understand this. This is called as a Boolean variable actually, right? This is the Boolean variable. I'm just leaving this as it is. Okay. So here, right, so variable wise, we are able to create a string variable, we are able to create an integer variable, we are able to create a float variable, we are able to create a Boolean variable. Now, so I think in our childhood, right, so we might have heard of this number called as complex number. Complex number is nothing but it will be a combination of real plus imaginary number, right? This is something called as a complex number, right? So we know about that, like okay fine, so there can be an imaginary plane which can be possible where I can represent a number. So fine, although in a real life I have never used this kind of a variable so far, right? While doing calculation, if I'm building some kind of a library, I can try to use it, but yeah, so far I have not used it at all. So real plus imaginary numbers, which is called as a complex number in number system, right? Complex number. Now, so I can try to create this kind of a complex number, which will be a combination of a real number and an imaginary number, right? In Python. So let's suppose if I'm trying to create some variable called as n, right? And n is equal to, if I have written 45 plus, right? So 45 plus 6j. So j is nothing but it's a exact notation, right? And then if I'll try to check a type of this number, it is nothing but it's a complex number where it here 45 is representing, right? So here 45 is representing what? A real part. And 6 is representing what? Imaginary part. J is what? It's a notation. Imaginary part, right? So here in this way, it will try to convert these things into a imaginary number, right? So this part is the imaginary part of this complex number. So complex number, as we all know, that it's a combination. Again, don't ask me where I can use it. Even I have not used it in my entire life while doing computer vision by building a solution, right? You will not be able to find out like an imaginary plane. You will be able to find out always a real plane in which you have to deal with your data set. But yeah, let's suppose if you're trying to build some program for like a kids where these things are available, right? Imaginary number calculation you have to showcase, then you can use it for sure, right? The way we used to study in our childhood, not in data science, but yeah, these things exist. That's the reason. So I'm just talking about it. Yeah. So don't ask me that how to use these things in our real data. So just in those kind of a conversion, if you're trying to convert code, like a mathematics into code, so in that kind of a cases, you can try to use it. So here, right? So here, this is the number. Now, let's suppose if I'm trying to print it, so it is going to show you both imaginary as well as complex part, right? And we know that what is the meaning of imaginary? What is the meaning of imaginary, guys? Generally, I is the notation, right? We used to keep inside our mathematics books. Can I say that it's nothing but a square root of -1? Yeah, under root of -1. Yeah. So here, right? So here, this is the number, and then let's suppose if I would like to get just a real part of this number, what I can do is, so I can try to write like a n dot real, right? And execute. So this variable dot real, if I'm going to type, right, I will be able to get what? I will be able to get a real part. If I'm going to type n dot image, right, imag, I will be able to get a imaginary part. Like I said, J is a notation. Let's suppose if I'm going to use M instead of J, it will give me error. Let's suppose if I'm going to use I instead of J, it will give me error. Let's suppose if I'm going to use L instead of J, it will give me an error. So any other variable except J, if you're using for a notation, right, it will be an error. So J is the only notation in a Python programming for representing what? A complex number, right? So hope you all are able to understand this part. So how we can try to create a complex number kind of a variable, right? So maybe I can try to create another variable. M is equal to 56 plus I can say maybe 8j, right? So 8j I can try to create. Maybe I can try to do m into m, and then I will be able to get a data. This is what we have done in our childhood, right? We used to do a multiplication, then addition, and all sort of things. And yeah, so now, so let's suppose if you're trying to teach mathematics to our kids, right? And in parallel to that, so if you're trying to teach maybe a programming, so what they can do, how they should learn a programming kid as a kids, right? So just whatever they are studying, convert these things into a code part. Everything is possible, and that too in the simplest possible way, right? And try to practice it. This is the best way to learn a programming, not by creating a Zomato and Swiggy app and participating in a Silicon Valley. I think you know which story I'm trying to refer. Yeah. So, so okay, fine. Now moving ahead, right? Okay, moving ahead. So here, right? So basically what happens is Python is a dynamic typing programming language. Dynamic typing is what? So here I can create any variable and it will be able to understand it, that what kind of a variable I'm trying to create. So this is something called as a dynamic typing. Means I'm not saying my Python compiler, it's a string. Python will be able to understand it by default. I never said that this m or m is like a imaginary variable, like complex variable, right? But yeah, if I'll try to check, so it will be able to understand it by default. Yes. So it will be able to understand all of those things by default. So I'm not supposed to talk about it. Yeah. So this is something called as a dynamic programming or dynamic typing. Now what I can do is, so here, right? So here I can try to do 1 plus SUDH. Just do it, guys, and tell me the result. quick. Someone is saying that one SUDH. I think guys, you are not executing it. Someone is saying, most of you are saying error. Someone is saying that 1 plus 1 SUDH, right? So execute. When I say like give me answer, it simply means that no guessing, simple execute it and then give it to me, right? Typecast error, okay, error, type error, okay, unsupported operands, fine, type error, fine. Okay, I got sentiments. Okay, so here, see what happens is, I told you like Python is a dynamic programming language. That is fine. Yeah. But here, let's suppose if I'm trying to do, so one is what? One is an integer, right? And this one is what? This one is the string, means one is having a different data type. Python will be able to understand, and SUDH is having a different data type, right? Both will be having a different data type. Now, if I'll try to execute it, what will happen? Error. Simple, right? Why? What is the reason? So here in Python, if you are going to use a heterogeneous data type, a complete heterogeneous data type, right? So it will not be able to perform operations. If data types are available into a same format, right? Then it will be able to perform operations, right? So if one data type is available in integer, right, and if one data set is available into a string, so will I be able to perform an addition operation? No, not at all. I won't be able to perform a addition operations in this particular place. If it will be a integer, that is fine. But if it is a string, so I won't be able to perform this kind of operations. Now what I can do, so maybe there are like a way I can try to convert other variable into a string, right? So there is a function called as str, and with the help of str, so I can try to do a typecasting. Typecasting means conversion of one variable data type to another variable data type. So I can try to do that, right? I can try to perform that one. So string one. So in this way, it will try to convert one into string, and now this time it will not give me an issue. Or else I can try to enclose one inside a single bracket, right? Or maybe a double bracket. So sorry, single quotes or double quotes. I can try to keep it in this way. That is also fine. Yeah. So here I can try to like execute in this way. Fine. So this is something called as a strong typing. This concept is called as a strong typing concept. So Python always supports a dynamic, I can say, typing, as well as Python supports a strong typing. So you can try to create a variable without giving a variable type, right? You can try to do that, but here this is something which happens. Okay, so a string plus a string. So in this case, this operation will be called as a concatenation operation, right? At the same point of a time, let's suppose if I'm trying to do 1 plus, right, 1.23. Now you will be able to find out, or maybe 1.0, let's suppose, very simple way, right? You will be able to find out that this is integer and this is a float point number. What it will do is, so it will try to convert a final outcome into a floating point number, because floating point number, so representation in terms of a bit wise or a space wise, so floating point number always occupy a more space as compared to a integer by default. So what it will do, it will try to convert all those things into, it will try to do a upcasting. This is something called as a upcasting. Upcasting means, so if it is an integer like a numerical variable itself, right, it will try to perform upcasting operation. You will be able to get a final result into a floating point number, not into a integer. Even in most of the cases, result wise, right, you will be able to see that it is trying to do a self upcasting. I have just used an integer, right, but still it is trying to do a self upcasting. So this is what happens in general. Yeah. Now let's suppose if I have written this like a string, right, SUDH, now plus SUDH, if I have written over here, right, and then I have written plus SUDH, right? So it is, can I say that I'm just trying to do a concatenation operation 3 times of SUDH, SUDH itself, right? Now let's suppose if I have to generate a same kind of a string, right? So what I can do is SUDH and then into 3. Same thing, same outcome, right? So even multiply, you can try to multiply. So multiplication in terms of a string is a very simple one. So multiplication means that many times it will try to concatenate. Simple, right? So it is trying to repeat my SUDH three times. So this operations, right? Output of this operations and this operation will be same. Here also I'm trying to do the concatenation three times manually. I have written that, and here also I'm trying to do the multiplication operation. Now someone will wonder that, okay, fine. So what about division? It will not work. So don't even try. Yeah. Whatever permutation combinations are required, I'll discuss in a class itself. Mm. So yeah, and like let's suppose SUDH minus SUDH, again there is a issue. Okay, so like don't try it out with the division and subtraction operation. Multiplication and addition operation works well with a string data type. Yeah, rest of the things is good with other data type like an integer or all those things. Okay, so here like here I can say that this is how you can try to perform a simple string or integer operation. We have discussed about a string variable, integer variable. I'm just talking about the very basic operations over here, nothing else. So Python supports a strong typecasting, you can say, right? So a strong typecasting you will be able to find out in this particular cases. Now moving ahead, right? So here we talked about what we talked about. Let's try to summarize it first of all. So we have started with the simple print statement. We have seen that how to like create a single line comment or multi-line comment, and then what is a type syntax, like type function. Generally it's been used for like checking the type of the data variables. I have seen that, okay fine. So how to like create a variables, how to create a variables in multiple variables into a single line itself, right? And yeah, so other variables like variable naming convention we have seen. And then we have seen that, okay, so this boolean variables, and then like a complex variable we have discussed, floating point variable we have discussed, a string variable we have discussed. So these are nothing but it's a variable that we all are able to create, right? Now so someone is now saying that SUDH into SUDH, try this out with your name. Yeah, what would happen if we typecast a string into an integer? It will give you error. So if I have, if you have a numerical string, then no error. If you have a character string, then there will be an error, precisely. So for example, if I'm trying to do a typecasting, and if I have like this one, right? So if I have some data in this way, so it will be able to do it. But so it's a numerical string, right? And then let's suppose if I have this kind of a things, it will be an error. This is what I was trying to say. Yeah, so I think you have received your answer. Okay, so it's very simple and common, numerical or alphanumerical, so it will be an error. Okay, I think it was a question from Saksham. Okay, so now, yeah, what we have to discuss now? Yeah, many things actually. Now, so what we can do is, please discuss operator precedence and associativity. I think this is your first class for Python programming, right? So first learn how to create a variable, and then going forward, we'll keep on adding it. Many things. Yeah. Now, so because see, what happens is like people used to go to a website, they will see that, okay, fine, this topic, this topic, this topic. Now, on the same day, let's ask all the topics. So, okay, now here, right? So what we can do is, so maybe we can try to write some kind of a print statement, right? Or let's try to understand one thing, that let's suppose if I have to take a input from the user, right? So here a is equal to 10. This is what we are trying to give, let's suppose. But let's suppose if I have to like add, or if I have to enter this data from my end, right? Then what I can, how I can do? So what I can do is, so I can try to create a variable a is equal to input. Input is nothing but it's a function, inbuilt function, which is available inside a core Python, right? So here I can try to create a input, right? Execute. I can try to enter a data, and yes, I'm able to see the data. Now if I try to print a, I will be able to find out this data, right? So yeah, another thing you will be able to observe that it will always replace, any variable will be replaced with the immediate I can say assignment. So here I have the variable a. I have done assignment is equal to 10, right? And here, so I'm just trying to use like a input, and again I'm trying to reassign those data. Okay. Now here you will be able to find out that a is equal to input. That is completely fine. We all are able to do it, right? And a is equal to 10. That is fine. So input is nothing but it's a inbuilt function by which you will be able to take a input from the user. So if I'll try to execute this one, right? So I'm trying to give a input. Just try out this, guys, everyone. So I can write enter a integer, right? So it is now asking me enter a integer. I'm just trying to write something which is not an integer, right? It will be fine. Now, so here I can try to enter an integer. It will be fine. Now let's try to understand that what is a return type or what is a return data type of the A. So I can write one thing, type A, str, right? Now let's suppose I'm going to enter just an integer. What is the type of A? Again, a string, right? So even if I'm trying to enter an integer, right? But finally it is trying to give me what? A string, right? So let's suppose, so here I have a very simple problem, right? So in front of me that I have to take a input, right? So let me write this pseudo code for all of you, right? And just try to convert these things into a programming. So here I have a very simple problem, right? So here a question number one for all of you is you have to step number one, take a integer input from user. Yes, by using input function. You're not supposed to use any other function. There are other function as well. I'll talk about that in a future, but not now. Just input function. So take a integer input from a user by using a input function. Yes, this is what I have written. And then so take integer again integer wise. So you are supposed to take three integer a, b, c. Inside that you can allocate whatever value that you want. I'm leaving this up to you. Yeah. So a, b, c is a three variable you are supposed to create. You are not supposed to assign a data by yourself. You are supposed to give a input from a user side, then try to perform a plus b divided by c, right? Whatever, this is the step number two. Then step number three is, let's suppose I will be able to get output as o over here. Then you are supposed to concatenate, right, this output. You are supposed to concatenate this output with your name, right? And yeah, so this no, so again just try to, let me rewrite this one. So you are supposed to concatenate these things with a complex variable, right? So just try to perform addition operation of this one with the complex variable, right? And then whatever output, this is output, let's suppose you are able to get, this is the output one. So you are supposed to do output one operation, concatenation operation with your name. So write down this code. This is the pseudo code which I have given to you. So just try to convert these things into code. So take an integer, three integer value. So you're not supposed to declare it by yourself. You're supposed to take everything from the user, three integer, and then you are supposed to perform a plus b divided by c. And then what you are supposed to do, you are supposed to perform that output a plus b divided by c. You are supposed to take, and then output plus you are supposed to add some complex number. You can create one complex number by yourself, and then whatever output that you will be able to get in o1. So o1 plus your name. Do it. You have next 5 minutes of time to do it. Guys, I'm looking for I'm looking for a complete output, so don't try to give me a error or something, because I know what is the error that you are going to get. Yeah, so it's a question for you. And one more thing, so just try to execute and then give it to me, right? So don't start typing inside your chat box itself. So you have 5 minutes of time, guys. Now it's 4:30. I will wait till 4:35. Right? This is a problem statement, and whatever issue that you are getting, solve it and give it to me. I think it's a simple problem, right? We are just playing around with the variables, nothing else. Yeah, Umang, I can see your execution. So I can see everyone's execution actually. Do it. I'll give you like a complete 5 minutes. We can take a break as well. I think we are sitting here, right? This is a long time. So let's take a break of 5 minutes. And after this 5 minute of break, right? So we will continue. So let me write it down over here. 5 minute break. Although break is a syntax which is available into, it's a inbuilt keyword which is available into Python. So yeah, we are on 5 minute break. Do it and 4:31, right? Let's take a break till 4:36. And in between, so I will be explaining you the concept of Python code execution. So Okay, fine. I think we are back. Yeah. So guys, you can stop picking me your solution. It's fine. I got it from many of you. So some of you are able to give me a correct output. Some of you are able to give me a incorrect output. Some of you have pinged me correct or incorrect like a result. So now it's time to implement it by ourselves. Yeah. So now let's try to do one thing that step by step, so we can try to execute it. I think that will be better. Yeah. So let's start doing it. Okay. So fine, guys. I got your answer. So we can stop pinging me. It's fine. Here, I told you that you have to create a three. You have to take a three input, right, from a user end, and then you will have to perform all those operations. Yeah. So let's suppose if I'm creating a variable a, and if I'm trying to take an input, now if I can write this is my variable a, right? And then if I'll try to take an input, so let's suppose if I have taken integer, right? Now a. So now if I'll try to print a, so a will be nothing but 345. Now let's suppose if I'm trying to perform some addition operation, it will give me an error. Why? What is the reason behind this? Because here when you will try to take a input from an input by using an input function, now if you will try to check a nature of input function, you will be able to find out that read a string from the standard input, the trailing new line is stripped, and then it is going to give you output as a string. So at any point of a time, if you are using a input function, the problem with input function is that it doesn't matter what kind of an input you are going to give, but finally it will try to convert all of those things into a string, right? So I have given 345, but it is trying to give me output, or it is trying to consider my a as what? It is trying to consider my a as a string. Again, you can see these things in terms of a nature, right? So what I have to do in that case? So maybe if I'm trying to get some in, so here, if you remember, we have performed this operation. So what we are trying to do, so we are trying to do a typecasting. Means if I have a string, which is a numerical string, if I have, so I can try to perform a typecasting operation, and with the help of typecasting, so I will be able to get integer values, right? This is what we can try to get it over here. So same thing I will try to perform over here. So whenever I'm trying to write this input, so I can try to perform one thing, that whatever input it will take, just convert these things into a integer. So a variable I have created. Now whatever input, if it is a numerical string input, right? If you are giving a string, for sure it will be an error. It will not be able to convert, it will be an error. So in our exception handling, we'll try to see that how we can handle those kind of things. But as of now, just in a layman way, try to perform this operation, because exception handling we have not discussed so far. So I can try to create another variable. I can try to take input over here, and I can write this is my var b, right? I can try to create another variable called as c. I can try to keep a typecasting over here, and I can try to write like a input, and I can write this is my var c, right? Okay, execute. So here you will be able to find out that okay, so it will try to ask me for the input. So whenever code will try to execute itself, it is trying to execute itself line by line. So three lines I have written. So first line, then second line, then third line. So code always executes itself in that way. It never try to make a jump, right? So a wise I have given 45, b wise I have given 56, and then 34 c wise. Now if I'll try to print my a comma b comma c, I will be able to get 45, 56, and 34. All three values I will be able to check here itself. Now what is the next step that I have given to you? So next step I have given you as a, so next step I have given you that, okay, fine. So a plus b by c, you have to write, and you have to store these things into a variable o. So here what you can do, so you can try to write in this way, a plus b divided by c, and this time you will not get an issue, because you can try to see o. So o is equal to this one, right? So O is equal to this one, which I am able to receive. Now what I have to do, so O plus a complex number. So O plus, let's suppose I'm creating 78 plus, let's suppose a 6J. So yes, it will be able to perform these operations, but it is available into a complex number. It is available into what? It is available into a complex number. Now, if I'll try to do O plus this one, and let's suppose if I'm going to store these things into O1, another variable O1, right? That is fine. So what is my O1? So my O1 is nothing but output 1 is nothing but it's a complex number. If I'll try to check a nature of this data, so I will be able to find out that it's nothing but it's a complex number that we are able to get. Okay, it's a complex number. Now I told you that, okay, so whatever data that you are able to get, so just try to concatenate these things with your name, right? But here, so if you will try to concatenate a string with a complex number, so we know that it's a heterogeneous data type, right? So it always try to accept what? It will always try to accept a strong typing. It simply means that you are supposed to convert this data into a string, then only it will be able to work for you. So maybe I can try to do a typecasting str, and then now I'm able to get the result. Yeah, so now I'm able to get the result over here. So this is something that we were supposed to perform. So is it fine? Most of you have already pinged me a correct output, right? So yeah, those who have pinged me a correct output, it is fine. Those who have not, right? So just try to understand in this way. Yes, so this is how we can solve this particular problem. So it was a very simple, like a problem statement, right? Just with respect to a variable we were trying to play, and then we were able to do these things. Yes, so anyone who is having any doubts, anything? Please explain once again. Okay, so I'm just going to give you explanation once again, guys. Let's try to understand over here that my requirement was to take a three input, right? And for all those three inputs, so I have to perform some kind of a numerical operation, mathematical operation, right? So if I have to perform that, we know that input always try to take what? Input always try to take a string, like it will take any kind of a data, but finally it will convert everything into a string, right? It will always try to convert everything into a string. So if I'm trying to insert a numerical data, so maybe I can try to do what? I can try to do a typecasting that we have already learned, right? Over here, typecasting. So, okay, one by one, I will try to take three input from the user side. Okay. So this is something. Once I will be having those data, so then I can try to perform my step two, where I'm trying to do a plus b plus divided by c. So yes, I can try to store these things into one variable called as O1. Now the next step was, so try to add this variable with a complex number. Okay, not an issue. So complex number. So if I have this data, so for sure this data will be a real number, and then we can try to create any kind of a complex number. 78 plus 6j I have created, right? I'm just trying to perform an addition operation. So real number with real number, it will try to add for sure. We don't have a complex part in our output, so real plus complex number, you can try to do a addition, right? It will try to add with the real number itself, and complex part will be as it is. So fine, I will be able to get an output. Okay, so I will be able to receive output is equal to O1. So where you will be able to find out real and then a imaginary part both. And then I'm trying to like perform the concatenation operation with my name. So here I have to convert, or I have to typecast those things into a string. So this is something that I can do. Can we get the complex number using the input function and perform the operation? So at any point of a time, you will be able to get a string as an output from the input function. So input function always converts everything from anywhere. It will follow the BODMAS rule. I think you have pinged me more than 10 times. So yes, it will. Everyone in this world, every system in this world follows the BODMAS rule. Okay, so I think this is something which I was looking for, right? So let me ping you. Yeah. So let me ping you this code to every one of you. Okay, so I think this code is available in your chat box. Those who are not able to do it, they can do it now. Okay, fine. Now moving ahead with the next step that we have to take over here, right? So string part is fine. We are able to take a user input, that is also fine. Now our next thing that we can try to talk about is a decision making statement. So let's try to understand a decision making statement over here. So in case of a decision making, what happens is in every programming languages, you will be able to find out kind of a if else kind of a statement, or maybe like a while do while kind of a statement. I think you must have seen that even in SQL. So this kind of things, if else kind of a statements is available, right? We must have seen this kind of a things somewhere in our life. Yeah, somewhere in our life we have seen that. So let's try to understand all of those things inside a Python, so how these things works, and we will try to understand. And after that, so we will try to move inside a loop part. Okay, so one by one step at a time, I think we can take. So conditional statement we can try to learn now. So here, right, so here what we can do is, so we can try to build one scenario. Just try to focus over here, guys, every one of you, right? Because again, I will give you some program, some problem statement which you have to solve by yourself. Yeah, and in this way you will end up creating your complete notebook by yourself. Just type simple. I just want you to learn how to type, nothing else, not a code part. Coding part will learn automatically. Yeah, so we just have to focus on the typing part and increase the typing speed. Simple. Coding part, it will be covered automatically now. So here, here let's try to take one situation. A is equal to, let's suppose, take 34. Yeah, so I have to perform one task, right? I have to print one statement if A is equal to 34. Or maybe I can try to write it this way: input, right? And input wise, input number lesser than, right, 34. And for sure we know that input wise it will always try to take what, it will always try to take basically a string. So I can try to do a typecasting. If I'm expecting a integer, so it will try to convert these things into integer. So we know that if I'm going to execute this one, I can try to type 56. So it will be able to give me 56 for sure. Okay, so yes, I'm able to take a 56, and 56 is a number. If I'll try to print, it's nothing but it's a 56. Okay, now I have to write one condition. So if user is going to input a data, and if that data is lesser than 34, right, then print a statement called as, okay, fine, my data set is less than 34, or else try to print that my data set is not 34, right? This kind of an instruction, this kind of a statement we have to build. So how I will be able to build it, how I will be able to do that? So for doing that, maybe I can try to use some kind of a conditional statement, or maybe I can try to use maybe some sort of a decision making statement. So decision making statement wise, there is a if statement, if else statement, if else kind of a statement, nested if else statement. There are many kind of a statement which will comes into a picture. So let's try to understand how we can write it down. I'll just go slow, and then we all will learn, we all will see how these things works. So in Python or in any other programming languages, you will be able to find out this kind of control flow statement or conditional statement or decision making statement for sure, right? We always try to make a decision in our life, right? So if I have to get into a data science, join some courses, right? And if I have to get into a data science, so just join the courses and do nothing. Other people will do everything for me. I'll just go for a job. I just want a job. This kind of a statement we used to make. That is true, I think, right? We all used to make. Okay, so similar kind of a statement you can try to make, that if data set is lesser than 34, right? If someone has given me a data set lesser than 34, then okay, fine. So print one statement. If not, so print other statement. So I can write in this way: if right? If is nothing but it's a keyword. So in every programming languages, you will be able to find out some sort of a keyword, like true and false that we have written. It was a keyword, right? It's an inbuilt keyword which is available. Now, so I can write a statement that if my variable a is lesser than 34, right? If lesser than 34, then do what? So maybe I can try to write over here called as pass. In Python, you will be able to find out that there is again an inbuilt keyword called as pass, right? What is the meaning of pass? Let's suppose if I have not written this pass, right? If I have just written these things in this way, and if I'll try to execute it, I'll get an error because conditions I have written, but I have not written that what I should do after validating this condition. So in this case, program will give you an output, or it will give you an error as an output, right? Saying that you have made some mistake, just try to rectify it. So let's suppose if I'm trying to write some condition, but in return, I'm not looking for anything, right? It should not give me any kind of a statement, or it should not give me any kind of output. So in Python, you will be able to find out a simple inbuilt keyword called as pass. So you can write a pass. It will not be expecting a body, or it will not be expecting any kind of a statement from your side, right? So this is what we can try to write over here, but this is not a requirement. Our requirement is a little bit different. So our requirement is, so if a is lesser than 34, so print that data input is lesser than 34 and I am fine with it. Okay, execute. Now here you will be able to find out that data input wise I have given what? I have given a is equal to 56. So for sure it will not be able to validate, or maybe to remove a confusion. So I can try to, or remove the input a number, right? It will ask me to input a number. So first line it will execute. So first line it is trying to execute this particular line, right? Where it is asking me to give an input. Let's suppose I'll give 24, right? Hit enter. Now, so when I will try to hit enter, and when I have written these things, so it will try to execute this first line. After execution of first line, it will come to the second line. Once this condition will be validated, then it will come to the third part, right? Over here. So this is how control is moving. Control will start from here, and control will try to move in this particular way. So I have given input is equal to 24 as an integer, right? That we are doing it over here. And here it will try to check. So A, the data that we have over here is lesser than 34 or not. If this statement is giving you true, this always returns true or false, right? Lesser than operator we are trying to use, greater than operator, lesser than operator, and operator, or operator. We can try to use many different kind of a operator. We will learn all those operators as well. So here I have written that if a is lesser than 34, if this is true, then it will get inside this if statement. If it is not true, it will not get inside this statement, right? So again, I can try to execute one more time. And this time, let's suppose if I'm going to give 78, I know that 78 is not less than 34. So it will try to give false over here, right? And in case of false, it will not try to execute. Now, in any other programming languages, you will be able to find out a statement in this way. So if a is lesser than 34 or 43, right? 34. So inside a curly braces, we try to write a body. Maybe some printer statement, some other logic we used to write inside a body, inside a curly braces. But in Python, there is no concept of curly braces you will be able to find out. Again, this concept is very much important because as a beginner, you all are going to make a mistake. For sure, you all are going to make a mistake, right? As a beginner. So here in Python, there is no such concept of a curly braces. Curly braces always try to maintain a body or indentation, you can say, right? In any other programming languages, but here, especially Java, if I'll talk about that. So here, in case of Python programming language, you will not be able to find out a concept of curly braces at all. Then how it will be able to understand the hierarchy of a coding, right? So it will always try to understand hierarchy of the coding by a indentation. And you will be able to see a mini indentation issue, right? Mini indentation error as a beginner for sure. That's the reason. So you have to type it with me. So here I have written one statement, if condition I have written a condition for that. It will return me true or false, not an issue, right? Let's suppose if I'm trying to start print from here, right? Print from here. And then if I'll try to execute. Now it is trying to tell me that indentation error. Why indentation error? I have written if statement. Now I have written print statement. So statement wise things looks fine to me, right? Everything looks fine to me. I have not written a wrong code actually. Code wise it's fine, right? What is the issue? Issue is a indentation. It is trying to consider your print as a separate statement over here, right? Your print is, it is trying to consider print as a separate statement, and it will not be able to find out any body of this over here, and that is the only reason it is trying to give me a indentation issue. So here in Python, we try to maintain a hierarchy, or we try to maintain an indentation by using a tab. And we always try to create, or we always try to write a code along with the body of a statement. So how? So let's suppose here I'm trying to write if. So if and condition. Again, let's suppose if I'll try to hit enter, so my cursor will fall where? My cursor will fall in a very first position, right? Again, this is an error. This is an error, right? Because in Python, you will be able to find out that almost approximately after every statement, you are supposed to give a colon. Now, if there is a colon, and now if I'll hit enter, it is not throwing me in a very first place, right? It is trying to take one tab. It is trying to take a space of one tab. You must be able to find out this space over here, right? So it is trying to take a space of one tab. And then from here, I can start writing a code, whatever code is required for this particular statement, for this particular if statement. So Python always try to maintain a code hierarchy and a body of a code with the help of indentation. Like I said, so everywhere you will face this issue as a beginner, right? You will say that, okay, fine, so my code is good, but still I'm not getting an issue. Like I told you in the very beginning, that look into your error message, right? And try to fix it accordingly. 90% of the there is a 90% chance that you will be able to solve it then and there, right? Whatever mistakes that you have made from there. Now, so by default, if I'm going to hit enter, it will try to throw me in a indented block. So in this way, Python always maintains a hierarchy. There is no concept of a curly braces at all exists inside a Python to maintain a blocks at any point of a time. Okay, so here I can try to write if a less than 34. So it will ask me for data, and yeah, it is not able to print anything. The reason behind this one is my data input was not less than 34. If I'm going to enter 1, so yes, I'm able to validate, and it will return me a true, right? Second line. And after that, if this is true, then only it will come inside this one, right? Or maybe I can write a pass over here. So even without this one, I can try to execute it. So maybe I can try to write a pass, right? Now still I'm able to get this print. What is the reason? So reason is again very simple, right? So it will try to execute this line. I have given input as this one, which is not at all 34, lesser than 34, right? Here it will go, it will try to check this condition will be false, but it will not give me an error because I have written pass. So I said that, okay, fine. So I'm not expecting any kind of a return, true or false, doesn't matter. Do whatever you want, right? But after that, it's a simple print statement. So this print statement is not coming inside if. This print statement is where it's outside. It's in line with if, so it's a outside of if. So now this print statement will behave as a simple normal statement, right? So hope you all are able to understand this particular part. So this is a simple if statement which I'm trying to write, and always make sure that whenever you are writing something into a Python, so always maintain a indentation. Because of indentation, so you are going to receive variety of a different kind of a issue. Now, so here what we can do is, so we can try to create, so let's suppose if my number is greater than 34, so for sure I'm not able to get any kind of a print. But no, if number is something like that, so I'm looking for some print. If number is greater than 34, right? So even if for true condition, it will get inside if statement. Even for false condition, so I have to check. So maybe I can write another statement called as else. Again, when I'm writing else, right? So else and then colon, for sure, enter. It will throw you in the intended block, right, automatically. And then here, so you can write a statement that no, this string, this is this input, or I can write in this way that user input is not lesser than 34, right? I'm getting some output, right? So you can write if, and if condition should always be a valid one, right? And then you can write else. So if this condition is false, it will not execute this line. It will execute to, it will come to else. And here it will try to execute. Now you can try to write another kind of a conditions over here, right? So let's suppose if I would like to write a multiple conditions, right? Multiple different conditions. So if it is lesser than 34, right, print this one. Now if I would like to write that, okay, so if my data input is maybe lesser than 100, right, so at least print something, fine. So here what I can do is there is another keyword called as elif. So if I have to write a multiple condition, I can write over here that if here, so elif data set A is lesser than 100, right? Then try to give me some print. So print my data is lesser than 100. So here what will happen? So here a very simple operation is going to happen. So if I'm going to give an input, if my input will validate this condition, means if this will be true, print this one. Otherwise, it will look into the next statement, right? If this will be true, execute this one. If nothing will be true, right, then this is a default condition or else condition, which I can try to write it down over here. So in this way, I can try to write as many conditions as possible. So let's execute this code. So let's suppose if I have given 78, right, 78. So here enter. So what will happen? 78 I have given as an integer. Now 78 is lesser than 34, false. So not print this one, right? Now it will come to this line. 78 is lesser than 100, true, right? Now come to this line. And my data is lesser than 100. So now it will not try to print this one. So here I'm trying to write a condition, right? So here I'm trying to write a condition, and based on that condition, so it will try to validate, and then it will try to check each and everything, right? Now, so I'll try to build one situation over here, a salary and a buying capacity situation, just a simple program. Okay, so let's suppose if I'm trying to take input is equal to salary, so I can try to take input data, enter your salary, fine. Now if your salary, right, if your salary is more than like a 1,000 rupees, let's suppose, which is not for sure, it will be much better than that. So if your salary is lesser than 1,000 rupees, right, then I will be able to buy a car. If it is like lesser than 500, so in that case I will go for a bike. And if it is lesser than 100 rupees, so in that case I will try to maintain and manage my house. If none of the conditions, so in that case I will try to, I'll not do anything. This kind of a condition I have to write, right? So I can write in this way that if salary is lesser than 1,000 rupees, right, then print. Again, indentation wise, buy a car. Now, so elif, second condition I have to write. So salary is lesser than 500, right? So in that case, what you will do? Print. I will go for bike, right? And then elif, another condition I have to write, right? With the conditions, and then so elif salary is lesser than, let's suppose 100 rupees, right? So in that case, just try to print, I will not anything, and then final statement if none of the statement is valid. So with the help of else, print. Now print what? So I will go for saving. Okay, fine. So as you can see, this is the conditional operations that we have written. So if we have to make some sort of a decision, right, based on our salary, so a simple condition I can write, a multiple conditions I have written, starting from a if, then elif, then elif. If I have to write a multiple condition, if I just have to write one condition, I can use if, right? If I have to write one condition and a default one, right, then if and else. If I have to write a multiple conditions and like a default one, so if, elif, and else, right? Depends upon my nature of the execution, or depends upon the nature of the condition which I'm going to write. So now just execute it. So first of all, I'll try to put a salary is equal to 4. I think we all know what will happen, guys, right? What will happen? Someone is saying we'll go for a car. I'm just going to give an input is equal to 4. So go for saving, right, guys? Hit enter. Okay, so I have now someone has said that okay, fine, so I will like go for a car. Okay, and yeah, that person was like right. So here what will happen, I think like we were expecting what, we were expecting saving, right? And I said saving, and then everyone has said saving. Only one person told me that he will go for a car. What is the reason behind that? Because majority of you told me that it will go for the saving, right? Now just try to understand this one. Okay, see here, I told you in a very beginning, right? Code always start executing itself line by line. So from this line to this line to this line and so on. Fine, we all will agree with that. So here I have given an input. So input was very less, it was 4, right? Now it will try to validate over here that okay, so 4 is lesser than 1000 or not, right? So 4 is lesser than 1000 or not. True or false? True, right? 4 is lesser than 1000. So it will try to execute this particular part. It will try to execute this particular part, and it will not execute rest of the part. It will try to terminate itself, right? This is what I said in a beginning that okay, fine. So that's the reason, so I showed you that okay, fine. So line by line, code will try to go line by line. So I have written a code, and happily most of you, right, approximately 90% of you were saying that okay, fine. So I'll go for the saving, and like it didn't happen, right? In this way, so we are not able to print this particular saving statement. Now, so what is a workaround for this? How I will be able to get that? So can I say that if instead of using this lesser than, because it is able to make a statement true in a first line itself, right? Here itself, the statement is true. So it will try to print this one, and it will not even go into this one. Simple. So I think we are able to understand the reason. So whenever we are writing conditions, so we should write in this way. Now, if I have to alter the case, so in that case, I can try to make these things as a greater than, salary is greater than 1000, right? So do this. Is it going to print this time saving? No, not even this time, because now it will, this condition will false. So fine, it will not try to do anything with this one, but it will come to the next statement, another line. It will be true this time. So this time it will try to print this one, right? So even over here, I have to make it as a greater than. Again, what will happen? So again, it will try to come to this statement. Still this time, in this case, like 4 I have taken, right? So for sure it will try to print this one. So again, I can try to make this as a getter. Now it will be able to print. So let's suppose salary is 4. So I will go for the saving. So now in this case, we will be able to get for the saving. So this is what happens wherever it will be able to, right? Wherever it will be able to get a valid condition, it will try to terminate itself. It will try to execute a statement written inside that condition. So if I have written something inside this block, right? So this is a block of the code. So inside this block, whatever I have written, I can write as many like a number as possible, as many like a statement as possible inside this one, and that will be fine. So if like my salary is this one, so yeah, to a statement I have mentioned, both the statements, it is able to print over here. So I can write any number of a statement in this particular place. Now, on top of that, what I have to do is, so maybe I have to write another bifurcation. So if my salary is greater than 1,000, right? Someone will enter 10,000, someone will enter like 1 lakh, someone will enter 5 lakh, 10 lakh, any kind of a numbers. So inside this statement, right? Again, I have to write a multiple condition, and that situation is called as a nested statement. As of now, we are trying to write a flat condition over here. So if, elif, and all sort of things, we are trying to write in a this way, right? So now I would like to write a nested statement. So let's try to understand how I can write a nested statement. Some of you will write code in this way, right? So you can try to keep your condition in a bracket. This is also true. It is not going to give you any issue if you are going to keep your condition inside the bracket. Even if you are not going to give a bracket, things will fine. It will work in both the condition. I have not given a bracket over here. I'm not enclosing my condition inside the bracket. And here I'm trying to enclose my condition inside the bracket. Both way, it's completely fine, right? Now I have to write another condition, right? Okay, so like here, I would like to write that, okay, uh, your salary is good, right? Now I have to make another statement. I have to write another statement. So in the same hierarchical way, I can try to write another statement. Hierarchy and indentation, we always supposed to maintain. So I can write that if salary is lesser than, right? If salary is lesser than, let's suppose 5,000. So it will be greater than the 1,000. It will enter over here, right? Yeah. So if it is greater than 1,000, it will enter over here. So now if salary is greater than 5,000, right? If salary is greater than 5,000, then do what? Then try to perform some operation. So in that case, so print, right? So I will go with a car, maybe like a Maruti, right? And then inside that I have to write another condition. So if salary is, or maybe I can write over here in this way. So if salary is greater than 5,000, I'll go for the Maruti. If salary is greater than maybe like 10,000, right? So 10,000. So I'll go for maybe, or I can mention like a nano, and then go with Maruti, right? If salary is greater than 50,000, right? So I'll try to do what? So I will maybe like print, go with Toyota. So again, here you will be able to find out that we have a first hierarchy of a if statement, and inside that, so again, we are able to write a second hierarchy, right? Again, over here inside this, so we can try to write so conditions as and when it is required, right? So I can write conditions over here. So let's suppose I have written if true. True is a universal condition by default, right? So print false code. Okay. So here, right. So again, you will be able to find out that I'm maintaining if inside if, right? So we are trying to maintain a multiple hierarchy. So we can maintain at any point of a time any number of hierarchy. It is not going to affect you at all, right? In any circumstances or in any situation. It's very simple and it's very easy to write these kind of a statement or any number of a statement or any number of a if else kind of a statement, conditional statement, and you will be able to get it, right? So let's suppose now if I'm trying to execute, and let's suppose if I'm going to give like a 10,000 or maybe like a 45, right, and execute. So now just try to understand what has happened, how it is going to execute it, and how control will flow over here. So first of all, I can say that control will try to come in which place. So first of all, control will come over here, line number one, and after it will come in a line number one, right? So then what it will do, so yeah, it will try to come on line number one first of all. Once it will be on a line number one, right? Then we'll come to the line number two. Line number one, it has taken an input is equal to this much, 10,056 rupees. So if salary is greater than 1,000, so yes, 10,000 is greater than 1,000, right? So it will come over here and will try to print your salary is good, right? Your salary is good. It is printing this statement. Now it will try to check if salary is greater than 5,000, right? So yes, salary is what? Salary is greater than 5,000. So here it will try to mention, I will go with the card. Sorry, I have written card, whatever it is, just a statement, right? So I will go with the card nano, right? And then again, it is, I have written if true. So inside the same block, it will keep on executing. So it is coming from this to this place to this place to this place. And unless and until it is not able to terminate this complete cycle, right, it will not be able to complete this hierarchy. It will not go outside, right, with the help of false condition or true condition. So again, if true, I have mentioned. So if true, so here it will try to like give me a print statement called as false code. So this is how it is going to execute. So I was just trying to show you like how nested statement works, and any number of a hierarchy you can try to write, maybe till 100 label, 200 label, 500 label, whatever you like. So for sure we don't write it that number of hierarchy, but still you will be able to do it. And line by line you have to go through your code execution. Line by line it will try to execute it, and finally it will come over here and it will terminate it. So it will not try to execute the rest of the code in this way. Yeah, it should be Maruti. Just focus on this greater than or lesser than symbol. So if it is able to get into this condition itself, how it will come to Maruti, right? So I think people are still confused. Last time I told you, right? So if it is able to get into a first condition, this time even many people are thinking that it should give me a Maruti, right? Many people are thinking that this should give me a Maruti. Why? Just look into this condition. So once it will be able to get into this condition, right, it will not get into any other conditions. And that is the reason. So ideally, right, ideally it should give me Maruti, right, logic wise, if I would have implemented this. But as I have implemented greater than, it is getting into the first condition, and then it is trying to give me this statement. So I think it's making sense to every one of you, right? Okay, so it's actually very easy, right? So writing a code, like I said, so writing a code is nothing but just like a story. So we all can write a story. So we all can write a code as well. So just you have to think in that way. So just try to like treat a code just like a story. So if I'll give you, see, like it's a 19 line of a code, but it's nothing, right? It's a kind of kiddish things that we have done. Yeah, simple if else, if else, if else, if else kind of a condition. So someone is saying that with if else is compulsory. I don't think so, because here I have written a if, right? Even body of if is not compulsory. If you're writing pass statement, pass is a default keyword which is available into a Python. So wherever you don't have to write a body, if you don't want to write a body, so in that case you can try to write a pass, and then your work will be done over here in this particular situation. So yes, this is something. Now I can take some question, guys, and I think many new things we have discussed, so it's better to stop ourselves over here itself. There are many things to discuss, right? As we know, this is just a beginning, not even a beginning in a proper way, I'll say, right? We have just seen some of the syntaxes, nothing else. There are many code programmings we have to execute, thousands of line of code. So this is how we can start building it. This is how we can start creating it by ourselves. So even you can create, those who are not able to execute it. So I'm just pinging you this code, right? And a very simple thing to learn programming is try to debug it by yourself. Whenever you will get an issue, whenever you will get an error, right? So just try to debug it. Now someone is asking that if true, see what happens is what this condition will return. So can I say that this condition will return either true or false? Let's suppose if I'll copy this condition, right? And it is returning me what? True and false. Yes. So if statement, else statement, elif statement, all these things both on a Boolean return, right? So it is returning me what? True, right? If I have already mentioned true over here, so can I say that it will be true all the time? Means instead of mentioning a particular condition, I have mentioned a true keyword itself. Yeah. Instead of mentioning a condition, ideally what you do, you write a condition, right? And what condition will give you? Condition will return you true or false, right? So instead of writing a condition, or instead of like giving this kind of a condition, I have mentioned directly true. So it will be true all the time, right? Yes. So this is how, so that's the reason. So it will go inside this one without even checking the condition. This is the meaning of it, right? Again, many of us gets confused. Even I used to get a confused when I was a beginner in a programming, right? When I was started my programming into C++. So at that point of a time, these kind of small things confused me a lot, right? But it's a kind of a logical thing, right? You just have to like a look into that and print it, right? Wherever you have an issue, initially just try to print it. Then in a later stage, we'll try to learn how to apply a debugger. So in that case, it will make your life very easy. Print is not a standard approach. I agree with that, but I think we are just a learner, right? So we can try to use it. Print, generally, we try to avoid it in a production grade code. We are not supposed to use even a single like a print statement in a production grade code, but as of now at least we can work for debugging. Can you please explain the new line print? All these things will come. See, whatever permutation combination you can think of, right, in your life. So every kind of a permutation combination of a code, I will try to write in a class itself. It's just a beginning for all of us, right? Coding wise. So every permutation combination will be like a done in a class. Someone is saying that I'm not audible. Is it? Can we use pass for a future scope? No. So pass means completely you're trying to pass a statement in a current scope. Okay. So yeah, I'm clearly audible. Is pass equivalent to a continuous statement? Not at all. Continue is different, right? I will be talking about that. Let's see. As a beginner, maybe you must have seen some kind of a coding, some kind of programming, some maybe word, might be some word you might have heard of, right? So call by references, call by values, right? And again, this is kind of a confusing things. Plus, continuous statement, break a statement. So in a class itself, I'll write all the code, right? Those who have attended my classes, whether it's a community class, I think they are aware about it. Those who are not, let me tell you these things. I always take classes in this way, and then it will be clarified, and you will be able to do a coding. I'll make sure. Okay, so any other question, guys? Just ask me any other question related to today's class. I will try to answer each and everything. And it's just a beginning, like I said. So there are nothing we have discussed actually. Nothing. It's not even close to 0%, right? In terms of coding. Please explain pass again. So see, pass wise, what happens is, let's suppose if I'm writing a pass. So if I'm not writing a pass, in that case, what will happen? If I'm not writing a pass, so in that case, it will have to write. So here, if I'm not writing a pass, I'll get an error. Why I'm getting error? Because I have created this block, if block I have created, right? But for this block, I'm not writing anything to return, right? So what this block will do, let's suppose this condition is true, right? Then what it will do? Nothing. I have not written anything, so it will give me an error, right? So that's the reason. So if I don't want to write anything, if I just want to validate, right, but after that I don't have to perform any kind of a work, so I can write pass over here. So pass will override those things, and pass will not ask you to give some sort of a input from your side. Explain a multi-line comment. It's give output as a single line. Did not give any output. I think again that creates a confusion. So let me show you one like things. So here, if I am going to write now, where is a multi-line? I have used. So that there is again a small concept which comes in a behind, right, behind to this one, in a multi-line and single line. So now it's not printing a line, right? Here it is printing a line. I'll talking about that. Someone has pinged me, I think. Yeah, so again, multiple condition, right? So someone has pinged me a code with a multiple condition. Those things will be discussed by using a and operator or operator, all those things. So by using a, so here I have given just one condition. How I can try to put 5 other condition over here itself with the help of and a statement or a statement. So there are multiple permutation combination which is possible. This is just a first class, and for you to get some kind of a hands-on. Yeah. So I can start I can stop sharing my screen. So I think we have Chris with us. So I'll just have to leave for today, right? So Chris, are you audible? Sorry, I'm audible to you.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, Chris. So guys, those who have any kind of a generic question, right? Those who have joined us this week, so feel free to communicate with Chris, right? So and he will try to give you answer. And then those who is facing any kind of a issue with code or anything, you can ping to support him. But I'll suggest you, try to execute it by yourself, and don't ask those futuristic questions. Just wait for a couple of classes. You will be able to find out that maybe you have not seen those permutation combination, but I'll discuss those permutation combination in your class that you will not be able to find out even in anywhere in a public platform. Yeah. So how was the class, guys? Is it fine? Are you enjoying it? Are you able to do it? How is the sentiments? Is it fine? Are we able to do it? Yeah. So don't worry about the permutation combination. If you're practicing with me, like within 2-3 months, you will be in a better place. Yeah. Okay, too good. Fine. So I'll just take a leave, class. Chris, I have the one
Mhm.
section to complete, right? 5:30.
Sure. Sir.
Let me make you a host. I think
Mhm.
I'm the host as of now. So yeah, you are host now. I'll just take a leave. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, thank you, everyone. See you again in a doubt clear session Wednesday.
Okay, guys. So how was the session till now? Was it good? Yes, excellent. You're enjoying the full stack data scientist thing? All right, perfect. So what I'll do is that if you okay, any queries that you have till with respect to anything that has been taught today or yesterday? Any queries? No, right? Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll allow you to talk. Just raise your hand, okay? Okay. Sudhakar, please tell me a question. Yeah, guys. I think for three, I have who have raised the hand, I've allowed to talk. So right now we'll just have discussion. If you have any queries, probably you want to ask me, I will be happy to help. Other than that, I think we'll try to discuss some more things. Okay. Yeah, please. Anybody who wants to talk, I am allowing. Yeah, Adinath, Suresh, Rohit.
Hi, Krish.
Yeah, hi, Suresh. Tell me.
Hi, my name is Suresh.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if you have access to the code that Sudhanshu explained earlier regarding the if and else if statement.
It's okay. I can open my own Anaconda prompt. Okay. Just tell me what is the question.
Okay, so he changed the greater than symbol to less than symbol earlier. If you
Hmm?
notice that code, so even after changing the even after changing the less than symbol to greater than symbol, we'll be getting the same output. We will not be getting the output which we actually wanted. We actually have to get the output which says I'll go with Maruti if the salary is greater than 10,000. But still, even after changing the output, since the first statement says if the salary is greater than 1,000, the
Okay. 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 Not a problem. Just ping the code in the chat once.
sure, yeah.
This is the code, right? Masood is pinging it. Okay. Let me just share my screen. Okay.
Sure, thank you.
Okay. So what you're saying is that if the salary is greater than 1,000, if salary is greater than 5,000, LF if the salary is greater than 10,000. Okay. LF this, LF else this. So what is the concern in this? Yeah.
Here, could you enter the input 10,056 just like Sudhanshu input? Yeah, 56.
10,056 like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So could you run the code? So here,
Okay.
logically speaking, the output should be print. I mean, I will go with Maruti. That should be the output since we also have a
Okay.
condition.
Let's go step by step. Okay. Whether
Sure.
10,000 is greater than 1,000. I hope this is true. So
Yeah,
we have
that
gone
is
inside. This got printed. Okay. Then if salary is greater than 5,000, is it true or not?
it is true.
Then it will go and print this,
Yeah,
right?
that is
Okay. If true, if true, print false code.
yeah,
Done.
yeah,
So these all things have been printed successfully. What is
yeah.
the concern in this?
Now, if the salary is actually greater than 10,000, we will have to have the program print the sentence. I will go with Maruti.
No, no,
Right.
no. The thing is that over here, see, 10,056 is there, right? So 10,056, first of all, which condition is getting true? When it
Yeah.
gets true over here, it is going inside this particular block, right? Now, if this is getting executed, okay, then what will happen? This is a elif condition, right?
Yeah.
So elif will not get executed. Suppose if I remove elif like this,
Mhm.
then definitely this will also get executed. You can see me. So I'll write 10,056. Okay. If I execute it now, you can see I'll go to Maruti, go with Maruti also has come,
Mhm.
because
Okay.
elif basically means what? Elif, either this will get executed or elif will get executed,
Mhm.
right? Or else will get executed. I hope you're understanding.
Yeah, I get it now. If we have to print only the particular statement which says I will go with Maruti, then what modifications do we have to do to the code?
So here I can write
Okay, if and okay,
yeah, and operation simple.
and less than 10,000, I guess. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Salary is less than or equal to, right?
Oh, okay.
Right. So here let me write it at elif again.
Okay.
Okay. Now let me just execute it. 10,056. Right. If I execute, I'll go with mark. Done.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Next question, please.
Please, can you still hear me? I just have one more question regarding the
Yeah.
Jupyter notebook.
Yeah. Yeah. Tell
So
me.
when I try to run the code, a new line gets created. It does not run the code. Even if I click on the run button on the toolbar there at the top, or even if I,
After this, you're saying.
yeah, yeah, or even if I use the shift enter, it creates a new line. It does not. I mean, the console does not show the output.
Just restart the kernel once.
Yeah, I did that, but it does not seem to work for me.
The output is only not getting displayed. You're
Yeah,
saying.
yeah, yeah. It does not.
Probably.
It's not throwing an error also, but the output itself is not showing.
Oh, what is the
Even
code that you're trying to run?
every code that Sudhanshu was helping me with so
Okay.
far.
Okay. Just see, there will be something like kernel got disconnected or something like this. Okay. Initially, the kernel will get started, or just try to create a new notebook once.
I created a new notebook, and when I tried tiny codes, it was still the
Just
same.
go and just see that. So
Uh,
just write a restart and clear output once, and probably just execute it. I think that should be the problem. And then that
okay,
should not be
I'll
any.
try doing that. I'll
Yeah,
try doing.
yeah, yeah. Next question, please.
Yeah, hi Chris. This is
Yeah,
Arnav.
yeah.
My question is that while we are inputting certain variables from the command prompt, I mean from the console itself, like different values of ABC. So if there are three variables, where what Shudhanshu has written in the code was input first variable, second variable, and third variable. So there were three statements that we had to physically write in Jupyter Notebook. So my question is, what if there were 40 variables? Did we have to write 40 times? That is not a good practice, I think. So there must be some customization regarding
Okay.
that.
Now see this. When you are saying enter a variable over here, it's just a showing an example in Jupyter Notebook how you can take an input, right?
Right.
When you will
Right.
be developing an end-to-end application, you'll be having something like a front end over there, right? Where you'll be writing all the variables. Probably you'll be creating an application using Flask, Django. Those libraries are frameworks are there. Okay. Here, just to show you an example, we use this input to basically capture the input from the customer. Does that make sense? What I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm okay with this, but this will only be like we can store this whatever input we get from the clipboard. We can store it onto a particular single variable, right? And that will typically be a string type single variable.
Yes.
Now, if we had to take three variables, then also we have to write three times this code. But
No, you
how?
can do like this also. See, I will try to make it like this. Okay. Suppose right now still list is not been discussed. Okay. List is a new data structure. The data structures in Python. Probably I want to declare 5 variables. Okay.
Right.
And what I can do is that I can provide a list over here, do the typecasting, and whatever information I provide inside this, I may convert that into a list. Okay. So altogether, I'll be getting a group of elements. Then I can split and put it in another variable. So
Okay, so
that is
since
never a concern.
each item since each item in a list is iterable, then we can go through each of them. That is what you're saying, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, okay, ठीक है ये मेरे को पता नहीं था. Thanks. Okay.
Yeah. Next question, please.
Hello, Krish.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead, please.
So actually,
Huh.
I have joined this course last week, and in very first meeting, I asked from Shubhanshu sir, like, I want video lectures of Power BI and Advanced Excel. So sir told me that that will be uploaded very soon, and I'm a working professional and my company needs it. So I have to do it as soon as possible. So can I know like when I will be getting those video lectures?
See, the thing is that we are creating a fresh video in Ineron, okay, for
Okay.
all your things. So that is the reason they asked you for some time. But if you have so much urgency, previous any batch BI session, Power BI videos can be given as an access to you.
Yeah, that would do. Yeah, that would do. So actually,
So,
I'm asking for previous one only. Yeah.
okay. Then basically just contact the support team, okay? support@ineron.ai. Just tell them that I have this necessity. Probably I have to use this in my office. So
Yeah.
try to give it to me.
So I
But
have to mail them, right? Support.
no.
Support.
Contact in the Skype.
So I have contacted them. So
What
they
they tell you?
always. They always tell me like it will be uploaded in 3 months and like so. So
Okay.
can you make this process a bit fast, and if it is possible at your end?
Okay, let me just talk to them if possible.
Yeah. So actually, yeah, I asked from sir. So like I was thinking about your another course about data analytics. So sir told me like you won't be need that course if you join this course. So I joined it, but like I'm in urgent need, so it would be helpful if you can do it fast.
Okay, I'm just messaging the support team. Let's see what they'll tell me. Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, Krish.
Yeah, tell me, please.
This is nothing. I have a general question.
Yeah.
My bond with company is 2022 July 1st. But this course end in February, right? in these 4 months, if I select to any company, I can't go with that, right?
You can't? Sorry?
I can't go with to that company because I have bond with current company till 2022 July.
You have a bond. Your voice is not clear, actually.
Am I audible now?
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
I have a bond with my present company till 2022 July 1st. But this course is end in February, right?
Hmm.
There is a four months gap.
Mm-hmm.
I'm worried about the placements.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any suggestion from?
See, the general suggestion kind of stuff you're asking, right? I thought
Yeah,
you're asking some query like that. Okay. See, let it be whatever gap you have. Don't worry about it. Anyhow, next month, the internship, probably after Python module, the internship will get started, right? So you will be having that experience certificate also. So I think you will be able to do a switch. Don't worry about it. Okay.
Mm. Uh, Hi, Krish.
Yeah, Pratik.
This is
Go ahead.
Pratik.
Yeah, Pratik.
I'm going to do masters in UK for
Mm-hmm.
data science.
Mm-hmm.
The course will be starting in September. So let's say this internship is going to get over by 1 year. So if I'm let's say leaving this.
Pratik, just a second. I think
Sorry.
who was asking Power BI access, right? Just ping in the Skype. I've told them they'll try to provide you. Okay. Who was it actually?
Yes, sir. Parveen Kumar.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Am I audible?
yeah. Praveen,
Yeah.
just go and ask them. Okay.
Sure, sir. So, make I need
Just
all the material that is there in your course of
yeah,
masters
yeah.
in
Let's see.
business analytics master.
No, not business and Power BI. You asked, right? So I arranged
Yeah.
Power BI for you.
See.
Okay. So just
Okay.
ask them Power BI. They'll give you. Okay. Now don't say that you want the entire thing. Okay. Sorry,
Uh,
Pratik. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Yes,
Pratik.
it's okay. So, Krish, my question was that if I'm going to masters in September in UK, like usually what students do is they start applying for internships.
Mm-hmm.
So, if I when I'll go in September, I'll have 5 months of experience of this internship, right? So, can I use that experience? So, will I get a certificate in
Yeah, yeah,
5 months?
yeah. See, whatever, because you are doing the real work in iNeuron, right? So
Yeah.
you'll be getting the experience certificate with how many number of months you are doing.
Yeah. Okay, so it is if I'm asking the sport team to provide me the internship certificate for 5 months, since I have to apply for the internship here in UK, then that is possible, right?
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Krish. Thank you so much.
Hello, Krish.
Yeah. Yeah,
Hi,
Partha, go ahead. Yeah, I'm good.
I'm working on one machine learning stuff here, but I have not reached the machine learning part in the batch.
Mm-hmm.
Need some kind of a guidance to solve that problem. Who can help me?
I think you are in also in different batch also, right? I guess, Partha?
Yeah, I'm in the November batch, and that is they have not
November.
reached. Yeah.
No, but I think pre-recorded videos is given to you, right, over there?
Yeah, it is there. I just want to kind of get a guidance as to which specific video will help me clarify. It's too much to sit on. It's like 3 hours each or 2 hours each.
Okay.
So I need
Uh,
some kind of
so
help there.
what you can do, Partha? Like, what is the
Okay,
problem statement about?
basically, I'm working with this iris data set,
Hmm.
and the iris data set that we have done in one of the lectures that you gave in that batch.
Mm-hmm.
That was with respect to visualization in C1 and stuff. I
Mm-hmm.
just want to make a machine learning part to that.
In Iris, you're saying?
The idea something, yeah.
I think we'll be able to get a lot of solution with respect to that, no? Because it is a very common data set.
Yeah, it's a very common data set. It may be available. I just need to the data set that I have got it from the Kaggle.
Mm-hmm.
I want to split the column and then I want to partition the data set to the testing and validation set, training and validation, and execute. I think I have to execute a sklearn program.
Yeah, I think that is simple itself. Why you're so much worried about it? I don't know. Okay, let me just do it in front of you only now. It is available in internet because I think many people have done.
Oh, okay. Listen, don't worry about it. I think I should be able to find it. It's very common.
Yeah,
I will just
see over here. I'll give you this link. Okay?
Okay.
It is already available in this, so I think it should not be a problem because it is a very common data set which you can actually just use sklearn and do it.
Okay. Okay, send it over.
Yeah, in the chat I have sent, oh sorry, just a second. Yeah, I've sent in the chat. Just have a look.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Hi, Chris.
Yeah, please.
Hi, good morning. I have a small doubt regarding the GPU. Yesterday, Sudhanshu has showed his workstation. I have like this type of GPU, but he also mentioned like even I have a powerful CPU and powerful GPU, but we can't train computer vision in that workstation. We have to be trained in cloud. Why is it so? Even in the paper it
Same.
says we have to do that.
The thing is that let me show my workspace station. Okay. If I go and see my GPU, it is NVIDIA Titan RTX. Okay, and it has dedicated GPU memory usage of 24 GB. This alone GPU cost around 3.5 lakhs. Okay,
Yeah.
Understanding 3.5 lakhs. But with this amount, when I am actually using this, I'm also able to train this because the GPU configuration is very high. So if you are having 1650 Titan RTX, RTX 1650, 1660, those GPUs will not never work with respect to training. That is the reason why they say that you have to train in Google Colab, probably in virtual space, Paperspace, and Google Colab Pro. All those are the options where they in Google Colab Pro, what they do is that they take some small amount of money and they'll give you virtual machines, and probably they will allow you to train your models very easily.
Okay.
Yeah.
And okay. So for training purpose, we have to have a very high performance of GPU, right?
Yeah. Not only that, your RAM should be high. See, if you see my RAM, it is somewhere around 64 GB. Yeah, just understand.
One more thing. What is the difference between RTX, GTX, and even the Google Colab? We can see some.
See, NVIDIA is the whole core owner of creating GPUs. They create some amazing GPUs for deep learning training and all. At that time, they have various series like RTX series they have, GTX series they have, and various series they have with respect to GPUs itself. There, your core will be different. Your VRAM will be different. Your different sizes will be there, right? So that is the reason what we do is that we definitely do not, and it is very difficult to buy a huge machine. So in the companies also, you'll be seeing that companies will also not having data centers. Instead they will be using some AWS cloud or Azure cloud because for them it will become cheap because they will not be having that many use cases, right? If they have that many use cases, at that time you will be able to do it. Jishnu Prasad says, "Sir, are you into gaming?" Yeah, I play a lot of games apart from doing trainings and all.
RTX, we have a laptop like RTX 2070, 2080. Is it going to work for training the?
No, I'll tell you, like, it'll take time. It'll take time, a lot of time.
Hi, Chris. This is Pratik again.
Yeah, Chris. Devendra this
hello.
side.
Devendra, just a second. Next question you can ask. Yeah, go ahead, Pratik.
Yeah,
sure.
So by what month we might start studying machine learning in this course?
As soon as you complete Python, there will be statistics session. Okay. After that, machine learning will start.
So I can say it might be before August, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, Chris, Devendra.
Yeah, Devendra, go ahead.
Yeah, Chris, I have one normal question that after whenever code we have to write into that, so how we can save that that particular code file into our local drive?
Okay. So see, I'm writing a
You
code
get
over
more.
here, no? Just go into file,
Right.
go and click on open. Here you'll be seeing the location.
Okay.
Right now, this is in my E drive.
Okay.
Just click on
Okay,
file,
thank you.
just click on open. Or you can also save this as a different locations.
But after that, when I go through that save as, so it's provide some error like as that root directory
Which one?
something.
Save as.
Yeah.
So here, this is your relative path, you know. So inside your E drive, how it is getting saved. So you don't have to do save as. Just go and click on file, open. That file will be present somewhere here.
Okay.
Here you can see that.
Okay. Okay, I got. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I have one general query. Like, I thought of buying a laptop, sir. So, I can see most of the laptops with 1650 Ti GPUs, which I can afford. But I found in the QDA tools, 1650 Ti is not portable for installing QDA tools. Whether all the NVIDIA GPUs are portable for using this?
No, I also have 1650 laptop. Okay. So it is compatible.
Okay, sir.
It's
So,
TensorFlow 10.0, I guess.
okay, so can we buy now, sir? Like for this course?
Yeah. See,
Thank you, sir.
I'm telling you, take a laptop usually for a general purpose. If you are into coding, take a laptop which has 16 GB RAM. It is good to have. I know 8 GB will also work. 16
Okay, sir.
GB RAM, some 1 TB hard disk, i5, i7 processor. You know, some amount of SSD hard disk is required. Okay, and some simple GPU like 1650, 1660, more than sufficient.
So we can install these QDA tools now, sir, for these NVIDIA GPUs.
See, I'll just search and show it to you. 1650 NVIDIA toolkits. You just search for it. Okay, you'll be able to see CUDA enabled GeoForce 1650 supported GPUs installing, because I also have 1650. It will work.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Next question, please. Bharadwaj. I think Bharadwaj was having one question, right? Done, right, Bharadwaj?
Yes, sir. Done, sir.
Yeah. Next question, please.
Hello, sir. Abhishek Joshi here.
Yeah, Abhishek, go ahead.
Sir, I was having a doubt in the code. I have written a code for salary. If salary is greater than 1,000, print a watch. If salary is greater than 2,000, buy a bike. But when I put salary input a value as 1,000, I'm not getting anything as a print value.
Just copy and paste the code in the chat once.
Just a minute. Yeah, I've done it, sir.
So input enter salary is greater than 1,000, print buy smartwatch. Okay. If salary is greater than 2,000, then this. So what is the problem?
When I put value as 1,000, I'm not getting anything as a print value.
Then obviously it will not print. No, whether this condition is getting true.
That is what my question is. If I put a value of 1,000, how should I put a statement over here?
Greater than equal to. Okay.
But when I put the search Sudhanshu search code, the value for 1,000, it was coming like the first comment was getting executed. The upwards code which you have right now.
This one?
The above one. The Sudhanshu search code.
In this you're saying?
Yeah. When I put it.
See. When this is not getting executed, your else if block will get executed here, right?
Okay.
Then once this gets executed, this will get executed or not? Tell me.
Yeah.
It will not get executed, right? Because once this gets executed, it will come outside that if condition, right? Altogether.
And second question was like when to use elif and when to use else.
Elif basically means that you have some more conditions, right?
Okay.
You have some more conditions. At that time, you'll write elif. If you don't have any other condition, you just say that remaining all the condition you put in the else block.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yes, guys. Next question.
Yeah, hi Chris. One more question that I had is that what is the difference between this command prompt and PowerShell prompt from Anaconda?
PowerShell. Sometimes you may be looking to execute in the command prompt is in Windows command prompt. Everybody has worked into it, right? Suppose you want to write some kind of Linux command also in Windows. At that time, you can use PowerShell.
Okay, okay. And second part is that apart from whatever is being taught here, do you recommend some other places where we can practice or take notes via some books or some other websites?
I would suggest go to my complete Python playlist.
Yeah, that I'm already referring to. 117 odd videos are there, I think, on machine learning. Yeah.
Not machine learning, Python playlist. I've created 50
Okay,
videos.
okay.
The complete Python playlist. So here you have more than 50 videos. Yeah, some other person has made my playlist like this, but just follow this. Here,
Okay.
every week one video will be coming. It is never ending. You have everything over here. See.
Yeah, you see, actually, the point is that I want to be, my aim is to be industry ready, and just not having knowledge for the sake of it. If I cannot use it somewhere, like I've gone through most of your videos, so it's quite understandable and quite relatable to the real world cases and how to use them. Sudhanshu just mentioned something like complex numbers. So it's good to know, but in the real world, he also mentioned that he hasn't used it in his entire career.
See,
So
complex numbers, I'll tell you when you probably may use it. So in machine learning, I think there is something with respect to linear equations. At that time, we can probably use complex functions. I have also not used it in a real world scenario, obviously, till now. Because again, unless and until we don't solve that specific problem where it will come, right? But just to give you an example, in linear equations, that kind of when you're solving that equations, right? Somewhere it may be getting used.
okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, Krish.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hi, Krish. So, Krish, like Sudhanshu told, like for multiple line comments, I've just pasted the code here. So, if you are if you are putting the multiple line comments, we are getting this as the output. The below line I have put as the output. So, then what's the use of giving the multiple line comments?
Okay, just show me the code. Just ping the code in the chat once.
Yeah, I pinged in the chat only.
Just ping it once again. Okay,
Yeah.
Vineet, right? Vineet.
Yeah.
So this is your this is the code that you have given, right?
Yes.
Okay, I missed some more brackets. Okay. So once you're executing it, you're getting this way, right?
Yes. Then what's the use of, like, it's not kind of comment, right? It's like we are getting something as output.
Let me just show you. When you use 3 quotes, right, it becomes a multi-line comment. Then you write anything over here.
Okay.
Now see anything. Okay, it is coming. The thing why it may be coming because I have /n. Okay, just a second. Now you're getting it? See, the problem was that when you're writing this, right, you did not write any code below it. So by default, it was displaying this thing. Okay, but anyhow, this will not impact the entire code.
Yes, it won't impact, but it is showing as a output. I got
The
it.
reason that because you did not had a code, right?
Yeah, I got it.
Sagar to pay assignment, it will be uploaded in your dashboard once your Python module is completed. Sagar, I think you can leave, not a problem. Okay. Yeah, go ahead, please. Next question.
Hello, sir. This is Shivani here.
Yeah, one. Tell me.
Hello.
Yes, Shivani. Yeah, Shivani, go ahead.
Hi, Krish. Krish, I have one question. It's a small question to begin with. When like we are aware that when we use a input function, it allows us to go for a user input, right? And it always takes hello.
Yeah. Go ahead.
And it always takes the user input as a string, correct? Now, if we want to typecast or change the data type of that particular user input, which is always string, we use, like, suppose I want to change the data type to integer, so we can specify a line like a command such as a equal to input sorry, int in bracket input again bracket enter a integer. Okay, and it changes automatically the string to int data type, correct? Now suppose instead of doing it in the first line, I am giving the first statement as a equal to input enter a integer, and in the second line I'm trying to give I want to typecast or change the type, and I give a statement as such int a. Now
you can see, right? You can see over here, right?
yeah, correct. So now, okay, you are giving b. Okay, now can we check the type of b?
It will be integer only, no? Integer.
Okay, but when I was trying the same thing, but after giving the integer,
just paste your code, ma'am. Just paste your code.
Yeah.
Hello, Chris.
Bijay, just a second, just a second.
Okay, seems like it's working now. But I tried with the same, maybe there was some, like, it was giving me, it was taking me to next run, like next statement. It was not executing the statement. It was taking me to the second line.
Okay, now the issue is fixed, right?
And now it's fixed.
Okay.
And second, like, it's like from my, I'm not sure how others will agree with this, but I felt like when we are conducting the classes, some 30 to 35% good theoretical background can be given, plus 70 to 75%, 65% we can work on the coding side by side, as we did in this class as well. The thing is, when we are discussing about data type, we just spoke about integer, string, and float, and we started working on code, right? So apart from this kind of data types, we might be having more data types in Python. So why can't we discuss the data types altogether, and then slowly we can work out on using all those data types and
no ma'am, that is not the way that how you will be able to learn properly. Sometimes if I consider there are more than 20 to 30 data types, so instead, first of all, we tell you what are the data types and then show you the example. It won't work like that. So what we do is that in every session we select some of the data types every time and we explain in that particular way. Like this time Sudhanshu included int, float, complex numbers, right, boolean variables, all these things. Probably in the next session, he may come up with more advanced data types like list, tuples, dictionaries, and all. So you have to exponentially grow your knowledge instead of first of all telling all the things, and then it won't work in that way.
No, no, I agree with that. I agree with that. But I was saying, okay, fine. I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
We go this way. Yeah. Yeah, that's all from
But
my
don't
side.
worry, don't worry. It will not be like you will not be able to understand, and like trust me, like this is the way that we are teaching from past 2 years. So not past 2 years, I'll say from past 4 years we are teaching in this way. Even non-tech background people will also be able to understand in this, because slowly they are grasping the concepts. Because many people get afraid how many data types are there in the first session only. They'll get confused. So when we take 2 sessions, they have a 1 week time, where they understand all these things, and probably they go slowly in understanding all the remaining things.
Probably I do have background in C, C++, data structure to certain extent. Maybe I was thinking that way, but it is okay. I understand. Like the other people from different background needs to be taken into account.
Yep.
So yeah, that's okay. Fine. I agree with that.
Yep.
Thanks, Krish. Thank you.
Krish, just to build on her question, I wanted to know whether that while typecasting, if we do not assign to a new variable, then will the data type change? I think that was her point. Maybe she was trying to print the data type of A itself without assigning it to a new variable.
Sorry, what was the question?
My question is just to build on the previous point. If can we just, if we write print int of A, then print type int of A, I think that will be int, but print type A, that will be
String.
str. Yeah.
By default it will be string only, no?
Yes, and if we typecast it, if you can change it in the int of A, then I think it will be int.
Yeah, that thing, same thing we discussed, no?
Yeah. No, in this piece of code, the actual what you call data type of A is not changed. It is just for this print statement. It is getting changed, I think.
I assigned it to a variable. When I assign it to a variable, different memory location will get created, right?
Right. Okay. Understood.
Hello, sir. Hi, sir.
Okay, just a second. Just a second. Lakshmi, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Hi, sir. I'm Lakshmi.
Yeah.
I have small doubt. Actually, if I want to save a code as folder wise, how can I save? Like, I want to save topic wise in folders.
Okay.
Can I
just
save
see
in
Just
Jupyter
see this.
Notebook?
Suppose I'm in my E drive. Now what I'll do, I'll create a ineuron folder. Okay.
Sir, actually, in Jupyter Notebook, can I save like that?
Yeah. I'll show you. No, I'll show you. Don't worry.
Okay.
Now I've created this ineuron folder. Sorry. Let me just write it down. Ineuron1 folder. Okay. Done. So
Yes.
inside this particular folder, I want to save everything. Okay. I'll go to my Anaconda prompt. Okay. I will go to my E drive. Okay. And then I will just click Jupyter Notebook. Okay. Now my Jupyter Notebook is open. Do you see where is ineuron1 folder here?
Yes.
Okay. Now I'll go and click on new folder, right? So here I'll rename this folder. Today is first session, right?
Yes.
Then what I'll do, I'll go and create my new Python notebook file. So I'll write the code here. Okay. Now again, you want to create, now you want to move this file inside this. What you do is that just click here. And there will be an option. Where is it? Edit. Sorry. Just a second. Move option is there. Why I'm not getting move option? Last modified, duplicate, edit. You can drag and drop from the folder. I think I'm not getting an option to move from here. View, it's okay. Edit, that's okay. So what you do is that just go inside this, create a new notebook file. Okay. Every time. And based on that, you can do it. Just a second. Yeah. Clear, ma'am? Lakshmi?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Next question.
Hello, sir. Hello.
Yeah, Bijay, go ahead.
Okay. So I have a question on internship. So when the internship starts, do I get the choice to work at any time of the day, or do I have to work on the work hour only?
So basically, you will be assigned a team lead. You have to tell him like what time you will be able to give the work. Obviously, you'll be getting time with respect to that particular time. You have to complete your work and give it to him.
Not that. I mean, I want if I want to work after 7 p.m. to any time and before 10 a.m. I want to work on that time, not in the work hour because I'm busy in the work
It's
hour.
okay. It's okay. That only I'm telling you, Bijoy. Listen to me properly. Your team lead will be assigning you some work, okay? And they will be asking you the status. You work at whatever time you want. Okay.
Hello.
Hello,
Hi,
sir.
Krish.
Hello, sir. This is Ashutosh here.
Hi, Krish.
Yeah,
Hello.
one lady was trying to talk. Just a second.
Yeah.
Ashutosh, you can ask
Hello.
next.
Hi, Krish. I'm
Hello,
Shraddha.
sir.
I have a doubt in a program, Krish. I'm sending it to you in chat. So, did you just receive it?
Yeah.
It's just a simple doubt.
Yeah. Tell
So,
me
C
this.
comma D equal to, yeah, that thing. And while executing, I'm just getting the answer as the value of C only, but not D. Why?
Just print all these values, ma'am. When you
Yeah,
write
instead of,
DNC, right? That is by default printing in the console. Okay. Now, when things are printing in the console, it gets replaced. It does not print in the next line. But when you write print DNC, then it will print properly.
okay, so DNC, like, there won't be line by line execution. Sequential execution should happen, sir.
See that only. First of all, what will happen when you do D?
Yeah.
It is displaying in the console. It is not printing, displaying.
Okay, okay, yeah.
After this, if I want to display C, again it will replace it over here only, no?
Okay, yes, yes, I got it. I
So
got
that
it.
is the reason why you get it like that.
Yeah, thank you so much, Krish. Thank you.
Krish, I'm
Hello.
audible. Hello.
Hello, sir. This is Ashutosh here.
Yeah, Ashutosh, go ahead.
Sir, Sudhanshu sir talked about ID function, right?
Hello.
Just
Hello.
a second, Naveen. Just a second. Ashutosh, yeah, go ahead.
Sir, Sudhanshu sir talked about ID function.
ID
Okay.
function.
So, sir, ID function, just identity number, that ID function.
Ping your
Hello.
code in the chat. Ping your
Hello.
code.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Guys, wait. Ashutosh, just ping the code in the chat. Sometimes wait, right? I'll be answering. Where am I running? Everybody is in a hurry, right? Don't worry, I'll answer you all, right? Yeah, Naveen, go ahead.
Hello.
Naveen, yes, go ahead.
No, sir. I was just checking. I don't have any doubt.
You don't have any doubt?
No, sir.
Then
Hello.
why? Okay. Yeah, Hitesh, go ahead.
Yeah, hi Krish. So I was having one use case like I'm having some of the G sheets and I wanted to access those G sheets using Jupyter Notebooks. So is it possible to do that from Google Drive?
See, G sheet basically means in which format it is.
It is like either in CSV or either in XLS.
Yeah, then you can read it from the Google Drive, I guess. Google Drive, right? Yes, you can. If
Okay,
CSV file is
so
there, you can.
is it possible like we can discuss it right now?
Okay, just let me try it out.
Actually, I did Google search, so it was showing like we can do it with the help of Google Colab. So
Yeah, in Google Colab, you will be able to definitely do it, not through independent Jupyter Notebook, because in Google Colab, you can upload all the contents of in your Google Colab itself. See how it is.
okay.
So if I
Actually,
open,
like there is a requirement of my company. Like I want to do it from the Jupyter Notebook or Jupyter Lab itself. So
from
is
the
it
Google
possible?
Drive, you want to upload it.
Yes, yes, yeah.
Why you want to store it in Google Drive? See, Google Drive is not a database like kind of thing, no? It should be a kind of storage like kind of thing. Storage like kind of thing basically means okay, you can upload it in S3 bucket in AWS because it provides you an functionality to read it from there.
No,
If you are
no,
doing,
I want to read it from Google Drive. Like I want to fetch the data from like Google Drive, and I want to do the cleaning of data in Jupyter Lab.
Jupyter Lab, In your
Or
local or in Google Colab?
No, in my local only.
That only I'm making you, Hitesh, understand this thing is that when you are uploading a file in Google Drive, okay,
Yeah.
you'll just be getting an URL of the Google Drive, right?
Yeah.
Let me just see over here. If I search read CSV file from Google Drive Python, see this, some person was trying to read like this, okay.
Okay.
Here is one option how you can read it. You do a request.get.
Okay.
Okay, this code is there. See, I'll ping you this code.
Okay.
Hmm?
Sir, I have a doubt.
Just a second. Okay. So first of all, for Ashutosh,
Sir, I just mentioned that code, sir, ID function.
Coming to that.
Sir, if you assign the same row, and
Ashutosh, your voice is not clear. Don't worry, I'll explain you. Your voice is not.
Okay. Sir, am I audible right now?
Okay, guys. Now let me just show you. Okay. It's very, very simple. Whenever something is assigned, what is this ID function? In ID function, if I try to write it over here, just press Shift Tab. What it says, it returns the identity of an object. Okay. Identity of an object. Now, when I write A is equal to 10, B is equal to 10. What is A and B? What is A and B? It is an integer values, right? Suppose if I write C is equal to 30.0, D is equal to 40.0. If I go and see ID of C is double equal to ID of C, ID of D. So let me just print this. Print ID of C, print ID of B, D. Do you see this, everybody? Right? It is a unique identifier, right? It is being shown over here. With respect to the values, here my value is 30.0, 40.0. So obviously this will be having a different identity. Here the value is same. A is equal to 10, B is equal to 10. So my identity is same. Okay. Done?
Sir, but my question is this, sir, sir, this is same in Jupyter, but not in PyCharm. Why?
Why in PyCharm also it will be same? Who told you it will not be same in PyCharm?
Sir, I searched, so it might be different.
See, probably I'll just create a new file. Okay. So if I write A is equal to 10, B is equal to 10, B is equal to 20. Okay. Print ID of A, print ID of B. Run test one. See this? It's different, no?
Yes.
Are you getting it? Okay. Question, please.
Yes, sir. I'm getting, sir. One more
His
question.
question was if A and B are same, then also it is going.
Okay. Let me write it down. Let me write it down. You see, this is same.
Sir.
Yeah.
Sir, लेकिन सर ये रेंज -5 to 256 तक है इन द जुपिटर, राइट? तो सर उसके बाद ये आईडी डिफरेंट क्यों हो जाती है?
कितना वैल्यू के बाद बोल रहे हैं
सर? -5 to 256. If you assign a two variable between -5 to 256, सर इन द जुपिटर सर, अगर हम जुपिटर नोटबुक में ए और बी दोनों वेरिएबल को -5 टू, तो जैसे ही हम 257 पे जाते हैं, लाइक हेलो सर, आई एम
हाँ
ऑडिबल राइट नाउ?
आशुतोष रुक जाओ यार, एक सेकंड में बताता हूँ। तुम्हारा क्वेश्चन है इन जुपिटर इफ नंबर लाइज बिटवीन -5 to 256 इट इज सेम इन जुपिटर बट नॉट इन पाइथन। ओके, लेट मी जस्ट सी। 256 ठीक है, यहाँ पे सेम है, तो यहाँ पे 256 और 256 run test 1, it is same, no? Ashutosh, you can see it is same.
So what is this number we are getting in output?
This is the identity. We basically say this as an identity. Probably this is derived from the memory location. See over here.
So if A and B variable are assigned different memory locations, then the identity should also be different, right?
See, that only I try to explain you, right? When you press Shift Tab after this, it returns the identity of an object. Did it say anywhere memory or something like that? No, right?
I have one doubt. Can you run a code? I'm just sending it to you.
Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Yes, Subhita.
Yes, can I ask my query?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Okay,
Send the code. Can you see it?
Wait. I'll answer it, Pratik. Don't do. You just ping your code. I will just say it. So, Subhita, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Actually, my query is I have a GPU configuration in my system. So, if I want to train my model, any machine learning or deep learning model, so can I just access the GPU by default, or do I need to have any configuration in my?
No, you need to have some configuration with respect to the GPUs.
Okay, so how can I just get that configuration in this lecture, in this like curriculum? Do we have any class for that?
Yeah, we'll have, right? GPU is required only when you'll be running an end-to-end application, right?
Okay, right.
So at that time it will be taken up.
Hi, Chris.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Just a second, Vishal, just a second. Next question you can ask. Pratik, yeah, tell me what was
Chris, let me know when to talk.
Yeah, sure. So Pratik, go ahead, please.
Sir, can you write down the code? Yeah, I've sent it to you. ABC is equal to input.
Yeah.
So it should ask for A, B, C values, right? After executing the code.
Why it will ask for ABC? How many number of times you have written input?
Okay, only once. Okay. Let's say if I want to want it to get 3 values at a time, then what should be the code?
You want to get 3 values at a time?
Yeah, A, B, C in line. Want to enter 3 values.
You can use for loops and you can get the statements. So you can get the values.
Okay, so it is not possible in a single line. We have to like user has to
just try to see there is something called a list concept. Okay. And with respect to the number of elements in that list, you can convert that into that many number of
You can
elements.
use map and split function also.
Yeah, so string can be splitted into list based
That only
on...
I'm not going there because we have not taught, right? So
okay, sure.
Wait, right.
Hi, Krish. Actually, I want to ask something.
Vishal, yeah, go ahead, please. After this, Jan Thakur will answer question. Okay.
Thanks, Krish.
Yeah.
I have my laptop i3 processor and 4 GB RAM. So, what upgrade should I do for this course?
4 GB RAM and
i3 processor.
At least try to make it to 8 GB. 8 GB will be helpful for you. Otherwise, your system will become very slow later on.
Okay, so that's it.
Yeah. So,
okay.
Hello, sir.
Hi, Krish. Jay this side.
Yeah, Jay.
Yeah, I'm using this Visual Studio Code, and like in the terminal, I'm not able to configure this Anaconda. So it is showing me only command prompt and PowerShell. So like how to pass
Did
it
you,
or something
while
like that.
installing Anaconda, did you check all the boxes?
Yes.
No, I guess. See,
No,
Anaconda.
because on the left, sorry to interrupt you. On the left hand side, lower left hand side, it's showing me like Conda and days, but not in the terminal. Like
That only, see, when you will be searching over here, you will write Anaconda, right? So Anaconda prompt should be visible. For you, it is not getting visible, right?
Right.
That is the problem.
Yeah.
I think you have missed the check.
No, it is visible.
This is visible. Then what is the concern? What is the
No,
concern?
it is visible. Even in the VS code on the lower left hand side, it is showing me Python 3.9.1 64-bit test ng is to Conda. Okay, that's the environment which I created in Conda, and in the terminal it is not showing me.
I'm not
So
understanding.
if I go to select this default shell, while selecting the default shell, it is showing me only PowerShell and command prompt, and Anaconda is not showing. So like, am I missing on the path or something?
Yes, sir, that only I'm telling you. If this Anaconda prompt path is not
No,
coming,
in the VS code.
Okay, in the VS code, then probably I think you have closed that thing. Okay, and just see in the internet, some settings will be there where you can bring it back. Like, see, when I'm opening PyCharm, right? If I go down, I have terminal. I can also close this terminal from here.
Yeah, see, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like what you're having right now is a environment like Anaconda environment. I'm not getting that Anaconda environment.
That only I'm telling you. When you are creating a Visual Code, Visual Studio Code project, right? Probably you have an option. Otherwise, what
Okay.
you do is that try to manually create one environment over here, from here, okay, from the Anaconda prompt, and from the Visual Code, you try to start from that specific environment. Like when you go to the Anaconda navigator, right?
Okay.
Anaconda navigator, I'm going, suppose, just show you an example. It will take some time to load. Let's see.
So can I ask my question? Like, hello?
Go ahead.
Yes, sir. In the chat, I am seeing that two all panelist options only there. Can I change it to all panelists and attendees? On the Skype team, they asked me to ask you.
To all panelists and attendees, no. You all can't message. You can only message to panelists so that.
But there are few students who are messaging to all attendees also.
No, they are not. Starting initially, they were doing it, but now they are not doing it. It has got disabled. So that the class should not get disturbed. So.
But I am seeing it, sir. There are few students. Omkar, some guy is there. Roshan is there. It is visible to everyone.
No, here attendees can chat with only panelists. The option is set up.
Can you see a student by like, should I point out or not?
Yeah, tell me.
Roshan Chako is there, Omkar is there. These are students, I think.
May I answer the question?
Just a second. Roshan. Now they are not there. Roshan is not there. I am searching and they are not available.
Okay, then I think Dheeraj was there, Dheeraj Kale, at the start of the lecture.
That only in the start of the lecture, I was there, right? That settings was enabled. Now we have disabled it. Okay. Now can anybody see other chats, guys, apart from my chat? No, right? You can know. See.
Okay, from next class also it will be disabled, right?
Yes, it will.
Just
the previous one.
Just chat will be disabled.
I'm able to see, sir.
also chat.
Others chat.
Even I'm able to see.
Whose chat you are able to see, basically? People's chat, other people's chat?
Yes, sir. From Roshan.
Rohan. Yes, sir. Roshan.
And Omkar.
That was in the starting of the session.
Yes,
now can you see?
No, from next class will it be available or not?
No, it will not be available. We'll disable that so that you will not get disturbed.
Okay, thank you. Because the in between sir gave a challenge and other people were also pinging the solutions. It was getting disabled. Okay, thank you.
Hello, sir.
Just a second. I think one guy was asking about this only, no?
Yeah.
In from Visual Studio, suppose from a specific environment,
Oh.
I go to that specific environment, open my Visual Studio code from that specific environment, then probably my Anaconda prompt will come over there. Just try to do it that way once. Otherwise, support team is there. You can ask a question further there. Okay.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Hello, Krish.
Hello,
Hello.
sir.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, hi, Krish. This is Murli here.
Yeah.
I have been waiting to ask you this simple doubt for the last maybe 45 minutes or so. Sorry about that.
Yeah,
Yeah. One simple doubt I was having was like in that nested if loop, right? Sorry, if statement, that salary kind of thing. Yeah. So if we have you have a print false code, right? Instead of that, a pass is given there. So it normally exits the entire nested if loop, right? Entire if condition, right? Completely.
No, let it be print written over here also. After this will get printed, it will come outside this particular loop. This is getting
just in case, my doubt was like if true is there, instead of print false code, if we say pass there.
Okay, pass.
So what
it will work in that way only.
It would exit, right?
Yeah, it will exit. Yes, it will exit.
Yeah, that was my question. Thanks a lot.
Hello, Krish.
Yeah, Naveen, go ahead.
How to change from C drive to F drive while creating new Python files in Jupyter Notebook?
I could not hear anything.
Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, Naveen, tell me.
Hello, am I audible? In Jupyter Notebook, we are creating files under C drive, right?
It's okay. You can create
under
any drive. See, that only I showed you, if you want to go with respect to E drive, from Anaconda prompt, go to E drive or D drive, whatever drive. From there, you open Jupyter Notebook.
We are creating files under C.
See, that only I showed you, if you want to go with respect to E drive, whatever drive, from there you open Jupyter Notebook. See, that only I showed you, if you want to go with respect to E drive. Okay. Naveen, did you understand?
Yeah, yes, please, thanks.
Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Hello, sir. I have one general question. Actually, I am working as a data specialist at Bears. So, after this course, may I able to get into the data science field?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Krish, I have a question. Like if we don't want to increase the GPU in our computer, and Sudhanshu mentioned the other day that Google Colab Pro is not available in India. So, I mean, you guys will be suggesting something on how to go about it?
In Google Colab Pro, if it is not there, just download a VPN like this. Okay. Just download a VPN. Inside the VPN, you just log in through this, and they'll change your IP address to US and buy that thing.
Okay, so so this is one of the easy ways to go about it, right? Like the Google Colab Pro option for the GPU part.
And don't worry, in 6 months, I think it will come.
Okay, fine, thanks.
Yeah, next question, please.
Krish, is it okay to ask?
Yeah, Pratyaksha, go ahead.
Sorry, I'm Raji. Sorry, my daughter's ID has come. My name is Raji.
Sorry, Raji.
It's okay. Actually, I have a similar i3 and 4 GB RAM laptop. So do I have to really buy a new one, or as maybe everybody asked it?
Just try to upgrade it to at least 8 GB RAM. That will be better for you. Otherwise, your system will be very, very slow.
Okay. So about GPU, we need not make any upgrades also, because if we are
Don't
planning
worry
to
about
use
the
that
GPU.
Google
GPU for GPU will be using this paper space and all. All the things will be shown to you.
Okay, fine. Yeah, thank you.
Hello, Krish.
Yeah, Prasad.
Hi, Krish.
Yeah.
Am I audible to you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I disabled you because you were echoing. You were disturbing the class at that time.
Sorry.
I think two device you are connected. So yeah, go ahead, please.
Actually, I think there was some lag from my end. I'm sorry for that.
Not a problem. But
Actually, I just wanted to have some clarity. Actually, I'm a diploma holder in chemical engineering, and I'm having work experience of almost 13 years plus. But I'm working as a non-IT professional, and since past 1.5 years, I'm trying to learn data science and data analysis, mostly from your YouTube channel. And when I came to know about this course, I enrolled for it. I'm looking for switching my career from non-IT to data sciences. So just wanted to know. I know there will be some challenges for me to switching to IT field. So being a diploma holder, will it affect me in getting job, or do I need to have any bachelor's degree in IT or computer science?
See, yes, I've seen people from diploma also. They have come into data science. They're working nicely. Already you are working somewhere?
Yeah, I'm working with a company which is associated with oil and gas and petroleum industry.
It's okay then, not a problem.
So,
you will be able to make
as this course offers,
yeah.
Sorry.
So we will try
Sorry, I'm
to
interrupting.
we will try to set up your resume in such a way that you will be able to get job.
Hi, Krish.
Hello.
Thank you, Krish.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
I want to ask that about the domain. If anyone has left their domain since long time and is into some other field, then for choosing the domain in this data science field, so he can go for any domain of choice.
Yeah, you can. Okay, Nasreen.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, actually, I would like to ask you about support from the support team. I'm working on a project like I have four table and I have to do the exploratory data analysis, but I have no idea about it. Like I just took the files into the collab and I'm trying to solve it. So will there be someone to support me, like from our support team?
I'll tell you, see, still we have not gone till there, right? I know everybody's eager for that. Just wait for some days. We'll also be putting pre-recorded videos, no? Just give us some
Yeah,
time.
if there is a pre-recorded video, now is it available? Because
See,
it is from my
with
college.
respect to pre-recorded videos, you can check out my playlist itself, no? With EDA. Everything is given in my YouTube channel.
Okay, I will go with that then. Thank you.
Just go through my ML playlist. There you'll be able to find out everything. This
Okay.
kind of information, everything will be given to you. So I think
Okay. Sure, I'll go with it. Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
Hi, Krish.
Roy, just a second. Roy, please go ahead.
Hi, Krish. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, Krish, actually, I wanted to speak to you before I joined the course, but they told me that it's not possible. So I have joined for the course now, and I'm trying to find a way. I'm from the interior industry itself. I have a non-technical background, so I just want to put myself in it. So how can I start it, means?
I hope from yesterday you're following the classes, right?
Yeah, but I'm unable to. Yesterday I was unable to download Anaconda and Jupyter. Today
Then
I have.
did you reach the support team for that?
Yeah, I reached it. I finally today I'm able to manage that. I have downloaded it, but I'm unable to type any code, and the terminology which are used in the class, I'm quite new to it. So how can I cope up with that, means?
Okay. See, the thing is that today and tomorrow the session will be like today, yesterday and today the session was over, right? You have a full week time. Okay. Right. Just go to the recorded video. Just go through it patiently without doing any hurry burry. Okay. Just slowly understand each and minute thing. Sudhanshu, I think he has taken very less topics today. Okay. So whatever he has taken, just go slow by slow. Just try to execute line by line. You will be able to understand it, and that is how we will be able to learn. See, everybody, like, they are so many people who have never done coding, but yes, Python is a very easy programming language because it is very easy itself. For you to understand, it will be very, very easy itself, right?
So would it be possible that if I start learning by your Python series, would that be okay, or
Yeah,
do you
yeah.
want
See,
me
what
to?
I'd suggest is that go through today's video. After that, you can check out my Python playlist also.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey, Krish.
Krish.
Yeah, Pratik. Jay, go ahead.
Yeah, so an hour back you opened the machine learning with Iris dataset link. You shared the link. I just happened to open it and I was going through the data set and everything. I was just curious to know that like it seems to be very techy and very very technical thing. So I just want to know, after learning all these things, what you guys will be teaching us, so we'll be able to implement all those things, right?
Yeah. The projects will be pretty much amazing, which you are going to see in the upcoming future. Okay, it will be completely end-to-end projects with deployment. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Krish, I have one general doubt.
Yeah, please go ahead.
How important is domain selection in this data science field?
Initially, for learning purpose, you can select any domain, whatever things you have knowledge on by hobby, just understand in that way. You can go into that particular domain itself, because that way you'll be able to solve some amazing use cases.
So like if we did our engineering or any other study in a lot of time ago, suppose 5 to 6 years back, and now we are trying to switch. So we almost forgot those things. So regarding the domain, we have to learn the
See, domain
technicalities.
basically means what? I like see, just understand that I like cricket, suppose. Okay. I like cricket because that way, because I know everything about cricket. Okay. Tomorrow, if I'm solving a problem with respect to cricket, that will be the domain knowledge that I'll require, right? Probably tomorrow I will want to work in finance. Do I have some experience? I know about stocks, I know about various financial terms, terminology, so I'll be able to solve that particular use case. Sometimes domain needs also to be developed. Sometimes you also don't know in which domain you're good at, so that is the
Yeah.
reason why we tell you that you select multiple domains, and out of whichever you like, you go with that.
Yeah, same situation is with me, that I don't know which domain I like right now.
Yeah, so you have to find it out. Okay. Yeah, Partha Iyengar.
Hey, Krish, I had a question.
Yeah.
The way which Sudhanshu was teaching today, it was little different from the one that was taught to us in the other class. Is there a specific reason?
Different in what terms, basically?
Last time it was like we were going through more of that Python notebook. Like he was following, you were also following the Python notebook, or as much as possible.
Probably because of
done.
No. It may be probably because of time. So that time it was 2 hours, right? So here
Right.
we have 3 hours session. So we'll be showing in that specific way initially. For Python, we'll be showing in that way, so that and here there are many non-technical people also, no? So it
Okay.
is better to show line by line with respect to that.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay. Any more question?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Sir, I am final year student from computer science and engineering. And sir, currently I have I show your playlist and completed some courses, and I'm trying to apply for a job in data science or data analyst or web scraping and any types, and they give me some tasks. Currently, I have the 2 tasks in pending. So support team will help me, or I want to wait for time.
Sir, you have to start doing. Support team will not help you for the entire thing, right? They
Yeah,
will help you. Suppose if you are stuck in somewhere,
Yeah.
10% of the work needs to be done, then definitely they'll help you.
Yeah, sir. One is in one task I want to increase accuracy using ARC and AUC, and I got up to 54%. I need to increase it more.
Yeah, then you can go and probably ask. Probably just tell the reason why you want it, and you can ask them.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Make sure that you ask in query@tineuron.ai. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Krish, I want to ask that as it was written at placement guarantee program. Like our college placements happen, so the same way this will happen.
See, the thing is that as soon as it'll not be like how your college things actually happen, probably there'll not be any aptitude test and all. Okay, so it will be pure referrals, and we will also groom you in that particular way, so that you'll be able to crack the job in this.
So, do we need to apply on online job portals?
Yeah, we'll tell you with respect to that only. When we'll be designing your resume, where all we should apply, how we should apply, and everything.
Okay.
And you're still in final year, right? You said?
No, that was the previous year.
Okay. Okay, guys. So I hope I've answered most of them. And just a quick question from everyone. I hope you like the session today. Any feedback that you want to give with respect to the session, you can give. But I think the session went well. I was there altogether. Okay. Kirti, go ahead, please. Kirti,
Yeah.
Kumar. Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, Krish.
Yeah.
Actually, I have a 5 years gap. Before that, I used to work for 5 years. So it will be a problem for me to get a job.
Kirti, like it depends on the reason. Like probably you may be on a maternity leave, I guess, 5 years.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
then I
yeah.
think once you complete the internship, you can basically say them that just please say them the reason, the pure reason, basically with respect to
Okay.
that. Will not be a problem. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Will you able to provide me placement assistance?
Yeah, obviously. But again, we had written one condition, right? We cannot
Yeah,
guarantee
I
that.
understand that. But like you'll be providing me assistance, right?
Yeah.
Not guarantee, but
Yeah,
assistance will be
assistance
there,
will
right?
be. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Kumarika.
Yeah. Hi, Krish.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Actually, I'm interested in business analytics domain as well. Data science I have chosen because of the knowledge I want to gain in this domain. Because business analytics is somewhere related to data science. So I wanted to know, I have seen this course in your website of business analytics with 3 months of internship. Do you recommend me to go for that course as well? Because I'm very clear that I want to land in that domain and for my job, future job.
In business analytics, you're saying?
Yes.
See, you can join it because the new batch has just started yesterday only.
Yes.
Okay. But since anyhow, those videos will also be available in this batch. I'm just thinking that if that is your aim, I think you can join there because the instructor will be different, who are data analysts, who are working as data analyst, and who are continuously working on Tableau, Power BI, all those kind of stuff.
Because data science I have chosen because of the knowledge. Anyway, this knowledge is going to help me for business analytics as well. But specifically, I know I want to go for that domain.
Yeah, I think you can join that yesterday's batch only.
Oh, okay. Thanks. That's a great help.
Yeah.
Hello, Krish.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
So, Krish, I wanted to ask that who will be taking the big data and that business analytics section, the Tableau and Power BI?
Big data, Sudhanshu will be taking because he's an expert in that. Probably he started his career as a big data developer. Okay. Business analytics sessions will be taken by other two mentors.
Okay, so Krish, will big data section be in brief or will it be?
No, it will be in complete depth.
Okay. So one thing I want to mention, Krish, that I was also talking this about support team yesterday. That this webinar link, can anyone join this webinar link?
No.
Because even I am trying with some random IDs, still I can still I'm able to join. And another thing is that fast track videos that we have on our dashboard, that Sudhanshu's link is public. Any videos can be accessed even in incognito mode. So those are also accessible.
In iNeuron.ai, you're saying? Just a second, let me have a look.
I mean, those Vimeo videos. So are they public?
No, they should not be public. If it is public, if it is showing as public, it will be fixed. Don't worry.
Yeah, that I wanted to, convey.
Just a second. I'll just have a look. Yeah, so we'll make it private. Don't worry.
Yeah, you can, click on that Sudhanshu Kumar name link in Vimeo video.
No,
And then,
I can see that. I can see that. We will make it private.
yeah, that I tried to tell support team, but they were reluctant to listen this.
Okay, don't
And
worry.
this webinar link is also, anyone can access, because
No. See, webinar link is only given to the people who have enrolled through the mail, and the mail is gone through the dashboard itself, right?
And if I, share this with anyone else, let's say I share with my friend, then
if you share them, it will be of no use. Only seeing lecture will not give them everything, because all the materials will be present inside this, right?
Yeah, but live classes can be watched, But okay, anyway.
Yeah, other than that, I have uploaded everything in my YouTube. I'll tell, go and take it from there.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, any more questions? So see, guys, I've given more than 1 hour, 1.5 hour for you all in Q&A. I think if I go and take lectures in this much time, you had covered most of the topics in Python. Okay.
It was your snack time.
Sorry.
It was your snack time.
Yeah. See, I'm eating here only everything, from that time. So. Okay. I think I was able to answer most of the questions from you all. Again, we'll see you all in the next weekend session. Until that, till tomorrow the session will be uploaded. Thank you everyone, and yes, I'll see you all in the next thing. And yes, have a great day ahead, and have a wonderful weekdays, office days, obviously, right? So I'll see you all in the next session, everybody. Thank you. Bye bye, guys.